Well, I think when the video's on, we're it says that we're muted.
But maybe
don't say anything bad just in case.
If I've said, will that show up in the stream?
What?
Like if we've got a little private chat box at the side.
Oh, the one at the side. No, that won't show up in the stream. Everything that's on the screen is what's on the stream.
Okay, that's fine.
Oh, damn it. I've crapped.
Okay, that's fine.
Am I alive? Is this happening?
I'm alive.
No. Live now. Oh, yeah. It's on. Hold on. Just make sure I'm not. Oh. No, they can hear us.
Nice. Hello, London.
Just so you know, they can hear us.
I really fucking hope your man doesn't show up. What's his name again?
Right, I'm going to do a
scumbag.
little tweet. He said they
Fell
would
in
be
with a
mute
wee
when this
song.
is happening.
You can
mad.
reach me by an aeroplane.
Davros, are you all set?
Yes.
Cool.
Oh, it's 'cause
God,
we've got 14 viewers
everyone's
already.
going to be so surprised when they tune in and they see Davros,
Yeah.
our fifth guest.
Oh, okay.
Richie, I'm bored.
I'm sorry, Gav.
I see no reason to delay any longer.
Sean, I think your mic's fucking...
What are all the Doctor Who fans saying, Richie?
This is just some comments. I think people are. Somebody say something if they can hear us. But there maybe they'll collectively lie to us.
They wouldn't do that.
Oh my God! It's 8 o'clock. Right, are we ready?
There we go.
Welcome.
Davros is fucking rude.
Oh wait, 2 seconds. I just got to grab something.
Okay, now.
Grabs his junk. Well,
He better come back with full, perfect Davros get up on.
Davros, do you reckon Richie couldn't pull this off?
It will be difficult, but it will be done.
You're so supportive, Davros.
I hope they can't hear us. Welcome. Welcome.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. We are ready to go. I don't want to go. Right, no, I'm good to go. Here we go.
I don't want to go. Yeah?
I don't want the podcast.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
Right. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Stop. Hello. Welcome everyone. Hi. We're here. I'm going to take this hat off. Well, should I keep it on? I'll keep it on for a bit. It's too
No, it's
small.
good. Keep it on the whole time.
It doesn't
The whole
hold my
time, please.
massive head.
Is that not a
The
filter?
whole time?
Is that what?
Is that not a filter? I thought that was just...
You know that you bought this hat.
I know
Hello?
that hat is basically cardboard.
It is, yeah. Hello and welcome to the 20th episode spectacular of I Hate Doctor Who.
Woo!
Woo!
Who?
We are coming.
Nice.
We're coming at you live from Edinburgh, Airdrie, Dublin, Maynooth.
Hey,
It's a
don't
real-
tell him
Bit
where
too specific.
Sorry, I
Yeah.
didn't mean to dox everyone.
Coming to you from Television Centre, London.
So, this is I Hate Doctor Who. If for some reason you're here and you haven't, I don't know why I'm looking over there. If there's some reason you're here and you haven't done this, heard this podcast before, basically the idea is that I'm a Doctor Who fan and I take non-Doctor Who fans and I make them watch Doctor Who in the hope that they might get something out of it and enjoy it. Now, the three people that I have with me are my regulars, my TARDIS team. They've become my TARDIS team. We've been on a bit of a journey together. But let me introduce everyone. We have, first of all, we'll start with the very first guest on I Hate Doctor Who, Mr. Gavin Spence, Dr. Gavin Spence.
Give me fuel.
Yeah. Didn't go to uni for all those years to be called Mr. Gavin Spence. Thank you.
And the second guest in I Hate Doctor Who, I think, Mr. Owen O'Donnell.
Give me back.
Hello. Yeah, that is accurate. I was the second guest.
Cosplaying as, he's either cosplaying as a doctor or a Doctor Who fan. I'm not.
I'm
And to be both.
I'm the seventh Doctor. Mad.
He's mad, isn't he?
He's
And
too much for me.
and the
The final.
the
Yes.
final, but by no means the least member of the TARDIS team. We have Mr. Sean Cunningham.
Give me that which I desire.
It is me.
Has a Starbucks advert just popped up for anyone else?
No.
I suppose if you're doing this live, it's more important than ever to have like a little bit of a script ready.
I know. Sorry, no. I've got the Twitch open to make sure that it's working, and I seem to be advertising Starbucks.
Do
That's
you
just
deny?
As
that
Twitch
you
will
don't have
do
a
that.
script?
Twitch can do that without your help. You don't have to talk about Starbucks.
I don't think it's Twitch. I think it's the anyway. It doesn't
What's
matter.
your favorite Starbucks order? We might as well jump on this thing.
So we got an active chat, which is nice. We got people are watching us.
That'll slow down.
Yeah, all right.
I like the frozen mango like frappe thing they do. I think that's nice.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
He didn't come on this show to be ignored, is all I'm saying.
I see.
You know.
I see. Yeah, people are just saying nice things. I'll try and get. The other thing I'll say is because we're on Twitch, I think I've got all the notifications and things switched off. So if anything happens, I'll try and keep an eye out. And obviously, but I may miss if anyone's
A
doing
nuclear bomb has
things.
hit Bristol.
Yeah. I'm going to take his hat off. Sorry, I go over it like that.
Oh my
No.
god.
Richie, does it feel a bit like trying to pilot the TARDIS? You know, like you have to keep the chat going, but you also have to turn all the knobs, keep an eye on all the
Yeah, got
things. But
lots of things to.
little behind the scenes secret, all that stuff is bullshit.
So, over the last God knows how many years, I have been torturing Gav, Owen, and Sean with episodes of Doctor Who, and we've been having a lot of fun on the way. And we've kind of been going through. We've been kind of going through it slightly in order. We started. We went back to the start, and we did the first Doctor, second Doctor. We've done a fair whack of the third Doctor, and you guys said to me recently that you wanted to do some Daleks, and that I
just
hadn't
wanted to
really
watch
brought
The
any
Good Doctor.
Daleks. Sorry.
Don't remember
I
that.
just wanted to watch The Good Doctor.
Yeah, I don't remember us all being like, we want to watch more Doctor Who.
No, I think I'm sure there was a comment about Daleks.
If we have to watch more Doctor Who, I think it's how we started off.
Could we at least see a Dalek? I think maybe we
At
say,
the very least.
could we at
I
least?
tell you, it's hard to remember. It's been a while, boys. It's been 8 months since the TARDIS team were together.
Has it been that long?
Yeah, I mean, Richie obviously had a few other people on the show in that time. How do you think those went, Richie?
I think they went quite well. I think
Alright.
I had a lot of fun. I think other people had fun. I think obviously you guys are a bit of a special treat. I can't have you on too much.
Oh,
No, you
that's
can.
that's good ego Placating there. I like it. Appreciate it.
I do like hearing can't have you on too much when we're celebrating the 20th episode after 10 years. Really
landmark-
eating
the
into all
landmark-
our schedules.
Yeah, the landmark 20th episode. Imagine achieving 20 podcasts.
Not many podcasts do, Richie.
How many
It's,
podcasts make
it's
it this
kind of
far?
like one of those like shows where the cast have all become really famous. It's like we can do like a special once every couple of years because just everyone's so busy, but it's always great to have the original team back together. Only none of us have any kind of excuse anywhere near that. Sean has an actual reason to live.
Well, the thing I was going to say is when you're doing a podcast, when you're doing a
Want to
podcast,
see my reason to live, real quick.
okay,
Sean has a reason to live.
Yes.
Yes, man. You see?
that is
Pretty
that's
good.
a-
Sexiest
that's
of the
a very
amiibo.
good reason to live.
Yeah.
The reason is muffin, says Bacon Lord.
I was going to say, by the way, that there was a reason that I think you picked the episode that you did because does everyone know when Davros's birthday is?
No, when's Davros? Again?
How sad for Davros to be surrounded by people and he has to say it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Do you know?
That's a
Do you know
shame.
when it's my birthday? Oh, when is your birthday?
Today.
It's even said with that sort of today.
No wonder he had to make a load of mates to celebrate with.
So they're having that big meeting, and they're all like, "I've not." So we'll probably just try and take the sort of like the emotions and like the the morality out of these things and just stick
Yeah.
them into the Daleks if that's cool. And Davros is like, yeah, totally. And in his back of his head, he's like, they're going to bring out a cake any moment. It's gonna be amazing.
That's why he was pissed the whole time. Yeah.
Yeah.
so shall we dive into I Hate Doctor Who?
Yeah.
Da,
have.
da, da.
That was just like an edited transition version.
Yeah.
Let me try it again. There we go. And we're in. Sorry, that should get me a copyright strike, at least. Yeah, so today I have chosen the fourth Doctor story from his very first season, Tom Baker's first story, first season, his first story with the Daleks. And we're going for Genesis of the Daleks, which is from Series 12. It aired from the 8th of March to the 12th of April, 1975. It's 6 episodes long. It's written by Terry Nation. And it is about the beginning, the origins of the Daleks. Now, I know Owen and Gav, I know Owen and Gav have a fair bit of Dalek experience already, but I feel like this might be new territory for Sean.
This is the first episode of everything you've shown me that I was excited to watch.
Oh, really?
Because it has fucking stuff in it. It's not just like on a farm or whatever.
Yeah, it's not taking place on the same like cliff.
Yeah. Because I don't know. I know what a Dalek is. So I was like, oh, something I recognize. So, and not only is it something I recognize, I'm going to learn all about them.
Like, yeah, you get to learn quite a lot, I suppose.
Yeah. And now I know. You can ask me anything. That'll come up later.
So just to give you a bit of context, because you would have just gone straight into the episode.
Yes, man.
Yeah, I was hoping for a bit of context.
This season, they're kind of away from the TARDIS. They don't. You notice they haven't got the TARDIS, but the last episode they were transporting away, and then you see the beginning. You've got the beginning of this episode, and they've been picked up by the Time Lords. But I'll just, what I was going to say is, what we'll do. We're usually we're not usually that structured in how we talk about this, but generally, I'm thinking we do 2 episodes, maybe a game, another 2 episodes, another game, another 2 episodes.
Sounds
I think
good.
two
Do
episode
you bring some
chunks.
games?
I did. We got games.
At least
Games to
two
beat the band.
from one person.
Yeah, 2 games from me. So that's at least 2 games that we know of.
Minimum.
There's a 2-game minimum on this episode. I'm really worried about the media assets now because of what happened with the theme tune. I'm sure it'll be fine.
I think it's because you played the theme tune earlier for us to see if we could hear it.
I know.
I know. It just stopped. I think you'll be okay.
I should have had the Richie's game Sting ready to go. Get to play it twice.
Yeah.
Well, people are excited about the game in the chat. That's nice.
It's not why we do it.
Richie's game. Richie. That's nice. Richie's game. Just lots of Richie's games. That's good.
I'm looking forward to this, Richie. I'll be honest with you. I'm set up here. I think we can say that although last time we enjoyed the 3 Doctors, you can't beat the 6 lagers.
Oh. 6 lagers.
Nice.
I put ice in it and everything. I feel like a king right now.
The lagers are a bit like Doctors. When you get the first one, you're enjoying it. Second one, you're getting a wee bit more. Yeah, this is good. Third one, oh, smooth. This is really good stuff. Fourth, you're getting a bit leery. 5, you're starting to get a bit tired. 6, I've gone too far.
Yeah, this is too much. By the time you get to 6, yeah, you're done.
Right. Anyway, so Genesis of the Daleks. I'm just going to straighten episode 1. It has one of my favorite openings for Doctor Who episode, and that's the weird mist and the people in the gas masks, people in the gas masks, and the slow motion machine guns.
I have a note right away if you don't mind me jumping.
Yeah, go for it.
Some kid has begged for permission to watch this, telling their parents it's suitable for kids. It's for kids.
Yeah.
And then you're immediately given these shots of the guys in the gas masks and like gunning each other down, dead in the dirt. And I'm pretty sure you could see one of their willies. And it's just as an opening to like parents in the room, and you've said no, it's suitable. It's a completely like, oh God, someone like parents up and down the nation definitely said, turn this off.
It's like
you can't watch this. Actually,
being a kid,
you can't find out where the Daleks come from.
Mum, can we watch Red Dwarf? And she's like, I don't know if that's suitable. And he's like, no, it's good. It's funny. And then you put it on, and they're like, this isn't funny.
If I had laughed once,
yeah,
you'd have been allowed by the video set, but
no,
grounded.
I'm not having that in my house.
You're not even going to school. Grounded, mate.
Talkie toaster. That's not a joke.
I'd note down how good, we don't talk about this enough, how good a name is Terry Nation.
Is it, yeah?
Imagine you were called Terry Nation.
That definitely could be a Rob Grant novel.
Terry Nation.
Terry Nation.
Terry
Write
Nation.
your own ticket.
Hey, come on,
Write your own ticket with it. Blank check that, essentially. I liked, again, I've written folks being shot in slow motion with invisible bullets, no squibs. in a quarry. 2 of my favourite Doctor Who things happening all at the same time. Very happy.
Well, yeah, so Terry Nation, I mean, I feel like this doesn't need to be said, but I'm going to say it anyway, but Terry Nation created the Daleks. He wrote like all the old Dalek stories. So the fact that they're bringing him in to do this, I think, it would have been exciting to be like, God, I'm going to figure out where the Daleks came from and find out where the Daleks came from.
It would have been. But you gotta say, with that opening, film and mist, always just a magical combination.
Yeah,
especially like in like shite old England, you know.
Yeah,
just you know, wet moss.
You can feel How cold
mist.
everyone was when they're filming it, and how happy they were to be in the pub afterwards.
It looks like condensation on a tent feels,
Yeah.
which I like a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really good, Gav. That's very good.
That's the poetry that comes from when you talk about something you love.
Yeah.
Did you watch this on BBC's iPlayer?
I did, yes.
I know the boys in Era won't have watched it on that. They'll have watched it on Daily Motion upside down and like a little letterbox or something.
Yeah. I learned how to do handstands watching this.
And the blood rushed to my head.
To avoid being copyright struck, the whole thing was playing in reverse. So actually, I'm reading my notes from the bottom up.
And actually, every time they said Kaled, they said Dalek, and I figured that out.
Yeah, the spoiler.
Yeah.
I noticed that the iPlayer subtitles, right? That's a small thing to annoy me, but it did. iPlayer subtitles are just missing out full big bits of dialogue.
Yeah, they're just
so someone will be like, "Let's get in here. We can't delay. We have to get in here for the safety of the people on this planet." And on iPlayer subtitles, it's like, "Right, let's go."
I did notice that all the way through it. There's a lot of that. Just changing words, or I mean, I don't know if it's just a delivery thing or what, but it's kind. I think. I'm not going to get a subtitle chat. Sorry, that's.
If you're going to get into it anywhere,
now's the time.
If
you're going to get in with the Doctor Who fans. Yeah, actually, just out of curiosity, just a quick question for the chat. How has anyone in the chat not watched the episode? Or ever even seen the episode? I'll give that a few minutes to catch up. So and then I'll look over.
It's Doctor Who, by the way.
We're talking about Doctor Who. No, I think the thing about I haven't watched Genesis of the Daleks in ages, but it's quite. It's funny how this episode is like one of the darker ones. It's very. It's quite grim, and. But
what was the biggest surprise for you, Richie, returning to it? What was the big surprise? Because you must know it quite well, but something must have surprised you on the revisit.
I think what surprised me was actually the pace, because it doesn't. For a 6-parter, it moves at a fair pelt, and I think I thought I was going to be waiting longer for the Daleks to show up. I couldn't, but I feel like they were moving about and killing folk pretty early on. So,
nice.
But no, the thing I was going to say, but like when Doctor Who does a dark episode or tries, the balance when you're trying. We're talking about this last episode with Ryan when I was doing Caves of Androzani, but it's like that balance of like you've got an absolutely miserable setting, but you've got these kind of fun characters in the middle of it, and it's like, and even Tom Baker, who is like just a big old messer. It's got. I think what's the thing that I really enjoy about Tom Baker, and I think it really shows off in this episode, is he is like a big old messer, but he's got the gravitas as well to be like, I'm very serious, big.
Yeah, he can be like taking the piss, and then if someone says, "Hey, stop taking the piss," he could turn around and be like, "Fucking shut it," and he'd be like, "Oh,
yeah,
maybe that's I
will." But yeah, that's why he's the best.
I should say, maybe before we go on with the episodes, there is something unique about Genesis of the Daleks, like in all of classic Doctor Who.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what it is, Richie? Before I say,
there's something unique.
What
about
puts
it? No.
Like, what is it that's like only this classic Doctor Who story you could say this about?
What's that?
In more than 90% of the scenes of Genesis of the Daleks, you can tell where everyone is, but also why they're there and what's happening.
That's yeah.
And
that's a fair point.
And that is the only classic Doctor Who serial.
Yeah,
you can say that about the whole way through. I mean, 90% of it, you could say, I know what is happening in this scene.
That's mostly down to Davros. He's really good at giving directions throughout the whole thing, because he's constantly being all like, and being like, and so I knew where everyone was while I was watching it.
All we need is a wrong way, and we've got a rally game.
Yeah. Did Davros say maybe at all?
I'm just catching up with the chat here because I asked them a question. It would be rude of me not to.
Some haven't, some
They-
haven't.
They all say, "What's Doctor Who?"
Yeah.
What a very cool dog. Watching it entirely in 45-second clips on TikTok with a guy in the bottom of the half screen nodding along and pointing up occasionally. Inventive Steps. I have not watched the episode. Woodaba. I rewatched it not 2 hours ago. So there's a mix. Not sure you want this answer, Richie. I will never watch the episode.
Well.
Yes,
And you know what? I'd say that speaks to the appeal of Doctor Who in general. You know what I mean?
Palki
Something
says,
for
I've
everyone.
seen it can drag a bit just to completely
Yeah,
contradict
that's
what I
great.
just said.
Hard to argue at that stage.
But there is a short cut, I believe, and officially
Really?
made.
Oh yeah, there's a
shorter
90-minute. There's like a 90-minute version of it.
What?
It's not. Well, I was going to save that to the end and then watch you be raging when I mentioned it. But it's not.
I've already seen Red smash my kitchen and then just got back to watching.
The 90-minute cut is interesting, but we obviously lose quite a lot of what's going on because that's like what, an hour.
You don't know if they're going left or right or where they're going.
Did
It doesn't say that.
when the Doctor's given, I don't know, are you going to go through the beats of the story, Richie, or
We
do
should.
you
No,
wanna
we
get-
can let's just chat about it.
just like I've got written here, Doctor Who is given the time ring, and they say don't lose that. It's very important.
Yeah.
Oh, my dog has just come into the room. Canine and Company.
Could you tell Toby the dog that we're in the middle of something very important?
We're actually in the middle of something really important here, Toby. He's like, no, I want to be loud. Okay, that's fine.
Oh, someone
The
else
time
mentioned
ring.
there's a 45-minute LP version. I forgot there's a vinyl version. Sorry.
Oh, really? I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
Sorry, Gav.
That's
the time
interesting.
ring.
No, never mind.
No, I want to know. I want to hear.
I just wrote in my notes, would you like the time ring or a party ring? That's all. That's all I wrote. You know,
I do love a party ring. The time ring is a source of real anxiety for me when I'm watching this.
It's
Because
not
I'm
real.
just like,
Fly off someone's
imagine,
wrist.
because like I always like the idea of traveling back in time somewhere, and then just being like, oh, that's you. You can't. You need. There's a ring. There's a ring,
Just hold on to this.
and then you lose the ring.
You should have given him a few. Just 5 or 6, just in case.
Or
Also-
giving them like a time sock or something that wouldn't
Yeah.
just come off. Here's a time belt.
It should be
or-
like a false tooth right at the back. Is there
Yeah.
time tooth?
crack that.
You know, I don't want to be the kind of guy who pokes holes in stories. Obviously, it's like a device for the plot, but like a fucking magician drops him off here in like 10 feet away from a minefield. Also, great plan, and to say like, "You're here now, take care of this, but you'll need this to get back." It's like, could you not just fucking
Yeah. No,
magic
that's-
in and
I was thinking that, but it is also very good, like cunty Time Lord behavior. To be like, we
Like,
like,
dropped
do they
you
Lord
not? Do they
behavior.
not care either way? Like, surely they want the mission to succeed. Maybe drop me off not next to the minefield.
At the other side of it.
When that Time Lord got back to the big room full of Time Lords, it's like, great. How's that mission we sent Doctor Who on going?
a very important mission.
Listen, just after I dropped him off, he stood on a landmine.
Yeah.
The mission has failed. I mean, just as I was like fizzing out, I saw the hat sort of floating back down to the.
With a little
Service.
ember in it. It's
So
funny,
that's
it would have been,
the Daleks have won forever, but
Yeah.
still, I mean, we knew, and we agreed. Let's drop them off next to the minefield. That this was a possibility. So
I did really enjoy it. Could have been almost a full episode shorter if there wasn't like what felt like 10 minutes of I have stepped upon a mine. And then just the slow-mo shots of his foot, which I really...
Well, they got 45 minutes of that in the new series.
Well, I wrote in my notes, Doctor Who fucking loves people standing on landmines. It seems to happen every second episode.
Do you know what would have been a great solution? You know, like when it gets down to like, you know, keep it safe. If you got a big roll of duct tape, it's like, right, just strap the mine on tight to the bottom of your shoe. Just carry on, but just make sure, just keep pressure on that.
Okay, the last thing Tom Baker needs to see those big shots of his Minging Clarks that he's got on.
Minging Clarks.
Wearing these big
You reckon
Clarks.
if you taped a landmine to your shoe, right, and then undid your shoelaces and then kicked your shoe off, would that be fast enough? And
straight into Davros.
Yeah,
you just kick it at Davros immediately.
He actually did the overhead kick and it flew up into the air.
Yeah.
You do like at one of those sort of like bicycle kick situations.
Yeah. We should do that.
I just kind of loved how, like the assistants, if you want to call them that, like Harry and Sarah Jane, are so incredibly adept and handy and can do it. And like, you know, it's Harry's like, he stepped in a landmine, no problem, I'll fix that for you.
I know.
And it's like Sarah Jane's like, did anyone notice that all the dead soldiers have different weaponry from different eras that don't go together? And it's like, if that was a companion now, they'd be like, oi, what's going on? What, the Sigma? What's going on, Doctor? I've got compassion. That's my weapon.
You're the best of us, Doctor.
It's okay for you to complain.
See you again, Doctor.
It's okay for you to complain about you, Doctor Who, because you're the haters. It's fine.
I thought we were going to the beach. Some beach this is. All the guns is wrong. I remember I stood on a jellyfish once in Brighton, but this is a landmine. Doctor, I don't want to step on a landmine.
Big beetroot red face.
Doctor!
But Richie, you might have done this when they go into the base and they've got that big map with all the little things to push around on it. One of them looked like the Scottish flag. And when I saw that, I licked my lips. Did you?
I tried to reach into the TV.
That's what I'm for.
There's a bit of tablet under there.
Immediately thinking about fruit pudding.
These are made of saurine.
Oh Christ. So
episode 2.
Doctor.
Do we even meet Davros in the first? No, it's the very end of the first one, is it? We get Davros just a
He
bit.
shows up in quite a frightening way. Like, he is shown like completely in darkness almost, and he's just...
and he's a bit calmer. He's like
Genesis of the Daleks, Davros. I was thinking he's kind of like weirdly, he's kind of the cutest Davros out of all the Davroses, because they get a bit better at making him a wee bit. But he's got a little bit of a wee chubby face and a wee round.
He's
head,
a real. I made a note later on. He's a real little stinker.
Yeah,
I like him.
Like,
just
there's a time when he's having a real tantrum, and it's like, you're just a little stinker.
I need to say it just at the top of this. I loved Davros. I thought he was just a great little guy. A funny little man. His little hand.
His little shaky hand.
Chin. Yeah. His little buttons that kill him and stuff. He's got buttons that kill him.
Yeah.
When you have a button on the front of your chair, oh, this kills me.
Yeah. Maybe have that underneath. You know?
Yeah. But there's so many shots of him pointing at things, being like, this one shoots me. This one kills me. And, I can press
it's
this
like
one.
The idea going like, he's only got one arm that works. And it's like, why did you put some of the buttons on the other side? Like, that was from when that arm worked, probably. I don't know.
And half the time he is reaching all the way across, like, hang on, let me just press the...
I have a Davros question.
Uh-huh.
for the Doctor Who knower.
Oh God.
Oh,
Okay.
Is
No problem. Let's hear it.
Davros a gamer? Because he's got a gamer chair. He's
Mhm.
got like his Steam Deck, all his
Oh,
buttons.
yeah.
He, obviously he's got no compassion.
Yeah.
Wants to annihilate all life, but he's got his headset,
Yeah.
and RGB
All signs are
keyboard.
pointing
He's got a wee wire that comes out and it just plugs USB, plugs into anything, and he's off.
He's
I
got,
think when
and
they
he's got an
go
And he's
Assassin's
away for
Creed-
hours.
He's got an Assassin's Creed cap. Is that right?
Yeah.
I thought when he was, closing the door of his locker, I thought I could see. Is that the Assassin's Creed Brotherhood official cap?
Do you think he's that kind of gamer?
Oh yeah.
You got that. You got that when you went to
you'll catch him playing
Eurogamer
Splatoon.
Expo.
What kind of gamer?
You know.
Oh,
The bad gamer.
The bad,
I feel like
gamer.
we should mention the Kaled and the other. Who are the other fellas?
Thal.
The Thal.
Oh.
So
the Mutos.
I mean, if you care, I don't know, but the very first,
I'll say that at the start of every point.
Yeah.
the very first Dalek story, when they first meet the Daleks, they're in a kind of post-apocalyptic world, and
Don't
then
care.
they meet the Daleks, and they live in a little city, and then outside the city, there's like these weird little hippie people called the Thals,
Yeah.
and they establish that years before, like hundreds of thousands of years before, there was a big war. So this is all in line with everything that we've. This isn't sort of.
So
all
is it
brand
a
new.
surprise in this one? Like going just the context of watching the time, was it a surprise? Like, oh, the Khaled were actually like you and me. They were like you and me. They were
Yes.
like people, you and me.
Yeah, because the
But then they
Daleks were
become
always some wee beastie sitting in in
Yeah.
the box. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
And it's
not
kind
so
of like-
different after all.
Yeah.
But they also like the Daleks were meant to be kind of based on the Nazis. So obviously by the time you get to Genesis, the Daleks, it's they've just gone straight. They've just gone very heavily with all the Nazi imagery.
No,
Why?
gamers. They were like gamers.
They're like
Yeah.
gamers.
Yeah, that's almost a
Do
direct
do
allegory there.
not get those confused.
Have the bad master and the bad gamer ever met? Has the master and Davros ever met? I don't.
Well, Davros is the bad master of the Daleks.
The bad master and the bad master of the Daleks.
The bad master of the Daleks.
The bad
Well,
master and the
I-
mad bastard. The bad master and the mad bastard.
Yeah.
He does say later on, like, "I am the master," and I was like,
Oh,
"When
Did
does,
you?
when does that
Oh,
happen?"
did you think?
Big
Did you
rubber
think
mask
Davros was Scottish at any point?
No. I'm sorry if I'm ruining a bit.
No, you're not. I just thought it was weird when he's all like, he just starts off saying that. I thought you might be Scottish.
No, now that I hear it.
oh, of course they have. Sorry. Hobbs Lane pointed out the Magician's Apprentice. There's a Capaldi episode with the Master, because I forget Missy's the Master. That's terrible.
What?
Do you think Davros?
Sorry, it doesn't matter.
Independent Scotland.
You stop telling Richie things about Doctor Who, right? This is our podcast. You're just watching it.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of sick of the chat.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
everyone say nothing in the chat until we're finished. At which point you say, "Thank you for the podcast."
Yeah, maybe a
you
little
very
fire emoji every now and then.
Can I say something about mutants?
Yeah, go for it.
Mutants love rags.
Except the one,
Mutants just
the one,
love
except the one who
rags.
had lines.
Mm.
I feel bad for the viewing public a lot of the time when I watch Doctor Who, and especially when you have these stories where there's a character who's like, this guy's a mutant, or for 10,000 years these people have been living in a toxic swamp, so they're fucking mutants, right? And then when you see them, or like, this evil guy lives behind a mask because he's so fucking horrible. And when you see them, and it's like a guy with like blemishes,
Yeah.
or just maybe a bit
Some
greasy,
stringy hair.
there must be 1,000 people sitting at home going, "Oh." Every time you see one of these mutants who's just like,
It was also very clear to me that the mutants,
don't look at me.
the mutants and the guards were probably the same performers.
Yeah. I like that when you see them and for the first time they're on top of the quarry, it's like a silhouette.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
His hand is huge. It looks like he's giving a big thumbs up.
Yeah.
Which I thought was nice.
Also, is it the start of the second episode where they all descend on Sarah Jane, but it looks like a bit of performance theatre?
That was too much, by the way. I was like, when that happened, I was like, oh, you can't do that.
It's a bad first impression.
Yeah. Actually, Richie, do you think that Davros would have voted yes or no for a vote for Scottish independence?
I think he would have voted yes.
Agree.
Right.
The only thing that I've got left from the first episode was,
he is attracted to power.
Well, this is it exactly. He was the Donald Dewar of his day. Imagine making the plinth that Donald Dewar statues on and make it look like the base of a Dalek.
A joke for 3 people.
I know, that's some rough chuckles. The only other thing I wrote, and I don't know anything about the actor themselves, but I wrote, Harry looks like he could take a drink. He looks like proper hardcore.
That's just anyone on the telly in the 70s.
Well, yes, true. Tom Baker also looks like that. But Harry in particular, it's just, sometimes you just catch him in the right light. You're like, oh, you'd be a bad bastard drunk man.
That's one of my notes. When Doctor Who is putting the scanner, and you see like the scientist has a moment of like shock. So that's definitely the scientist stops when he sees just how much gin is in the system. It's like that is an alien amount of gin.
Yeah,
to be flowing around.
This can't be right.
Yeah,
I mean, the two hearts. That's fine, but like the amount of gin in them, that's what gets me.
Yeah.
So it keeps them going.
Tom Baker's. The Doctor didn't make a big deal of being put into the machine, but Harry did, and I think that's because the Doctor's a fucking legend, man.
Yeah,
he's just no fussed. So I'm gonna just keep things moving. I'm gonna come to the end of episode 2, unless there's anything that you want to bring up.
Well, I'd like to talk about the cliffhanger
at the end of episode 2.
And I wrote, funny to think Richie is watching Alanis Morissette live at the same time that I'm watching Sarah Jane Smith falling off some scaffolding.
Oh, was that?
Doesn't seem fair, does it?
Richie
was eating an ice cream cone in front of Alanis Morissette while I was watching Sarah Jane Smith falling off scaffolding.
A woman fall to her death.
That sequence where, first of all, when we've been in that set for ages on video, and then we've got action sequence and it's film. It's the same set, but it's film.
Yeah.
That was weirdly exciting for me. Especially when you've got the cameras moving up the scaffolding. I don't really know the logistics of it. But also, everyone's just climbing. Liz Sladen's just panning it up that scaffolding.
I think everyone back then just knew how to climb stuff.
Yeah, you have
Again,
to.
I don't think there was anything else
to
to do. Yeah, they were just.
No, you have to know back then.
Richard, does this? You'll know like the whole series that this story is a part of better. Did this story get a little boost in production as was it kind of known this is a biggie, so we're going to put a bit more into this? Because I mean, there were still absolutely wobbly sets and all the classic things, but I was thinking, especially with that rocket stuff, like it's like that's quite
Yeah.
impressive set, and you could tell someone involved here said, "Let's make this one a bit
Yeah.
better."
Well, it's
I mean,
not
it seems
Genesis
like
of the
someone just
Rutan,
managed-
you know.
Someone just kind of, I guess they just kind of nailed it. But yeah, no, it's one of the sequences that you don't really think, if you're watching it and not thinking about it, you're like, yeah. But when you actually think about the production, you're like, God, this is quite good. Maybe I've just watched too much old telly that watching someone climb a scaffold, I'm like, oh my God, this is so exciting.
Speaking of people falling off stuff, I think it was in episode 2. But at one point, those Kaled guards have Doctor Who, and they throw him into a cell, and like he really eats shit on the floor. Like
Like right on the hands.
on the hands, and it looked so fucking painful. And that like the sound of it was awful. It's like falling over on a supermarket floor onto your knees.
He still did his lines, and
Yeah.
the whole time he was doing his lines, I was looking at his hands. Like,
Yeah.
are they? Is that not mad sore?
Yeah. Also, the other thing I was thinking when I was watching that sequence was earlier in the episode, they keep talking about how ammo's at a bit of a premium, and how when they went to shoot the mutant, it was like, that's a waste of good ammo and all that sort of stuff. And then suddenly there's like 6 men just shooting into the air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Who cares? Who cares?
Do you
No,
think
that's-
it's
I
a
think-
shame that during that whole sequence there were people who weren't paying full attention because they were too busy writing? Why is the signage in English on walls? I don't think that would be the case. Instead of just sinking into the action.
Richie, since you brought up wasting ammo, I just wanted to share my favorite clip. This was from episode 3, but
Okay.
I'm just going to hold it up to the screen on my phone here.
Okay.
I titled it 3 Doctor Who characters get fucking owned.
That disgusting mutant.
Wow.
I'm just imagining they dropped down into that hole and there was nothing. There was just like a hole that they were in.
That's honestly just what I thought happened. I was like, have they just been fucking killed? Like, point blank.
And what's impressive in that is the shell casings come out of the guns.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, that's footage of people being killed in a grate.
Fuck. That's anti for you though. You know, that's the level of detail.
We got
So
the
the
shot.
so the cliffhanger for episode 2, before we go into the first game, Sarah Jane falls from the scaffold and
death?
screaming, seemingly to her death.
Fuck.
I can't
She's
wait
all
for
like,
next week to see what happens next. How on earth is she going to get out of that?
There's no way for her to get out of this. She can't. You saw how high up they were.
Yeah,
She's fallen to her death. There's nothing underneath her.
yeah.
If that gun
mad.
in the hole didn't kill her, then falling off that will.
I do have a
Okay.
few things that I've not said in the last for this episode, but the one thing I want to get across is there's a moment when when the doctor's being interrogated and he's hooked up to that machine, he smiles, and his smile is life changing.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, he has absolutely eaten human flesh. And I mean Tom Baker. I don't mean the doctor. I mean the actor Tom Baker
Oh,
has
yeah.
eaten human flesh.
Oh,
Yeah, he does take on
He
everything
paid
with.
a lot for it. It was like in a secret place in London.
Yeah, it
Where
was like
the-
behind
where the
Stringfellows.
It is it is really good how he play. Like, he seems like he's always got a bit of a smile and a grin, but also when things get dark, he's taking it. He's like a fun uncle that goes a bit dark sometimes.
that's
Fun
a man
uncle with
who's
a dark
eating human
past.
flesh.
That's-
Those eyes as well. Like, how many fucking Skittles do you think you could fit underneath those eyelids?
There'll be a link to the image in the description.
Unreal.
Okay.
Well, I think everyone knows exactly what happened in the first 2 episodes now.
Yeah. Everyone's
So,
very clear. Everyone's up to date. You don't need to watch it now. No, but the first 2 episodes, yeah, I love the darkness. I love the vibe. I love just things that I did actually really like. I love when the pointing out that that it's a mix of like animal skins and modern tech because we've all been at war for so long. All our resources, like I just love those tiny details. And I love the really wormy, evil Nazi characters like Nider.
And the
He's
clams,
good.
the big clams.
Let's not
Clams.
forget
I
the
don't think we
big
got to
clams.
clams yet, but clams are
Oh,
coming.
sorry, clams
are
episode
coming.
2. Sorry, clams are coming.
Nida is so good. I think I would. I love a lackey in a thing.
Yeah.
I think I would be a very good lackey because I don't have any like morals or I don't care about anyone but myself. So I think I would do quite well at that, and I think Owen would too.
I love a toady.
Yeah, so good.
It's like the best thing about old stuff. Like you just don't get toadies quite like you used to, and they're my favorite characters. The sniveling side guy, the boss is like, and because seeing them eating shit is almost even better than seeing the main baddie.
Yeah.
Get their comeuppance.
Sure.
It's just something about like you're fucking worse.
Yeah.
Because he's not doing it for like the benefit of his vision. He's doing it just because
that's me.
That's just how I am.
It's just
He's
the
definitely
toady life.
Yeah.
I chose the toady life.
It's the law, that guy.
And of course, we now know, and this is why toadies need to come back. We now know there's plenty out there.
Yeah.
like most social media sites now seem to be 90% toadies.
I think there's about 6 million of us up here. Frankly.
Okay, so let's take a little game break. We're all ready for a game, the first game of the evening?
I'm ready to game. Let me
now,
game.
I've made you guys watch quite a lot of Doctor Who at this point. So
yes.
I imagine over this time you've been soaking up the lore and all this trivia. And it's just sitting in your head. It's absolutely just sitting there waiting to have a purpose, waiting for you to use it. So I put together a little quiz of the episodes that we have watched so far. I haven't gone too deep. Don't worry. The questions. Well, we'll see.
Does this game have a name?
It doesn't. It's just Doctor Who trivia game.
Call it Richie's game.
How deep is your game?
I hate Doctor Who trivia. That's what we'll call it. But I have brought in some help to ask the questions. And when we do this, I'm basically going to play each question to you, and when we get through, I'm just going to ask you for the answers. So. Sorry, I was like, I need you to
hang on.
Fascinating idea.
I hate to slow things down, but I just love the idea of a proper TV studio quiz show. Like all the lights, the whole audience is there, and you're holding the cards as the host, saying that I'm going to ask because they're not going to be too difficult. Don't worry. And I suppose then once I ask them, I'll just get the answers of you.
Sorry, I was going somewhere with it, and then I realized halfway through what I was talking, I was like, "You're going to wrap this up because you don't have an end to this sentence. Actually, you don't have a satisfying end to this sentence." So, okay,
you keep having to like. You're trying to ignore the voice in your ear that's screaming, "Fucking finish that sentence!"
This is live. This is live.
You're finished. You're finished. You're finished.
Brucey, Slagathor said, "Brucey could never." Right. Okay. So I'm going to play the first question to you, and hopefully it's going to work. So here we go.
Hello and welcome to Richard's Game. As the #1 fan of I Hate Doctor Who, I've been pressured into asking the questions on behalf of Richie, the #1 fan of Doctor Who, despite not having seen half of it. I have the questions in a WhatsApp message here. I forgot to charge my phone, so let's make this quick. In the first Doctor story... It's not the first... Sorry. In the first Doctor story, The Time Meddler, the Doctor meets rogue time traveller, the Meddling Monk. What significant year in English history did they meet? He's put a capital M on meet? That's not...
Well,
Okay.
pretty damning stuff.
So that's H Bomber guy there devaluing his brand by coming on my podcast.
Do you know what? The good thing is about old Harold there is he would do anything for his friends. If you say to them, "I've got a big video coming up, and I need you to just shoot a wee 10 seconds," even though he's like an actual superstar, does it? You know what I mean?
And like
Can't
that.
ask for more. And like that as well. Can't ask for more than
Goes
that.
live.
I know. Unlike, how long do you wait for Lauren Lanning to deliver his? Anyway, did you hear his question?
Can you play that again? Can you play that again just so I can hear the question?
Is it when
did the
when was
Doctor meet
that?
the Meddling Monk?
Was it 1066?
1066. Well done, Gavin. 1 point to Gavin.
Doctor, give him the news.
I'm ready for
Okay.
question 2. Come on.
Question 2.
Hit me, Harry.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Oh, there's
Who's it going to get for
Who's
this
it
one?
going to be now? For balance, it's...
In Sean's first Doctor Who story, it wasn't the first Doctor though, was it? Oh, sorry. You got me again. In Sean's first Doctor Who story, The Horror of Fang Rock, the Doctor meets a deadly shape-shifting blob from a race locked in a never-ending war with the Sontarans. What is the name of that race? Doctor Who's fucking rubbish, man. Also, Sontaran wasn't capitalized. That's racist.
I can't Google fast enough.
Don't Google.
That one's yours
Owen.
to win. That's your
Rutan.
question, Sean.
Rutan.
Owen's got it.
Can I have a point? Because I was actually going to say that. I was going to
I think
say
I would have known that.
The next
I would've
video
known
should be Tommy Tallarico for balance.
Yeah.
You know, don't
a shame
you
what
don't want to
happened to
look
that
like
guy.
you're picking sides.
Yeah. He didn't
It's
deserve
like
it.
Harry's room, by the way.
Scientologist just said Tommy Tallarico's reading the next question. Right. Okay. Question 3.
What is the name of the Doctor's silly wee car? Wee car. It doesn't make sense in my accent, does it? Am I even allowed to say that? What is the name of the Doctor's... What is the name of the Doctor's silly wee car? What is the name of the Doctor's silly wee... Don't put that in.
That's out of order. That's
Owen's jumped in front of everyone again.
It's Bessie.
It's Bessie. You're absolutely
man.
correct.
Sorry, that video made me laugh a lot.
I know Doctor Who. It feels really terrible.
Okay, question 4.
I've been joking to myself about how to say silly wee car in a funny voice for so long that my phone's run out of battery. Right. I've printed them off on a piece of paper. I'm really sorry. In Terror of the Autons, the Master kills a Northern Irish man by having him eaten by a piece of what domestic furniture? Why is that so funny? You can tell Richie wrote the questions because they make the show sound really good. Don't put that episode on expecting hot sectarian violence.
I know.
Sean's got to get
I
it.
know.
Sean's going
I
to get
know.
it.
Sean's got to get it. I saw his hand
Uh,
waving all the way through that.
Armchair. Is it an armchair? Is it a couch?
Yeah, I'll give you that. It's an
An
inflatable
inflatable chair.
chair.
Inflatable chair?
Yep, you got it. You
We'll
got
give you that.
it. Wait, what question was that? Question 4. So this is question 5. Oh God, I've got quite a lot of these. We'll rip through them.
I see more of
I'm
Harry's
getting sick of this guy.
big dirty room.
If you could just skip to the bit where he says just the question.
Excluding himself and Leela, how many on-screen lives does the Doctor save by the end of the Horror of Fang Rock?
Owen,
None.
none, 0. Correct.
Ah,
Everyone dies. Okay, question 6.
Sick.
As his replacements, the first Doctor describes the second and third Doctor as...
I know.
Gavin?
Was it a dandy and a clown?
Yes! A dandy and a clown and the 3 doctors. Well done. You guys are doing really well. You guys are doing really well.
We love Doctor Who.
Okay. Episode 7. Question 7.
In The Mind Robber,
Aye, right.
huh?
In The Mind Robber, what copyright-free superhero do Zoe, Jamie, and the Doctor meet?
Carcass.
Carcass. Well done.
I was going to say Torso, man. And that
I was going to say
I was
cadaver.
about to say Corpus.
Corpus.
Carcass.
Corpus is a good name.
Yeah.
Right, and the 8th and final question.
And finally, what sexual practice is the Master revealed to enjoy in Terror of the Autons?
Gavin.
It was revealed that he loves edging.
That's correct.
You're right. You're
Revealed
right.
by
You're
Sean.
right.
Yeah. I was yeah.
I know. I thought Sean was going to get that one.
One of the few things we got to add to the TARDIS wiki.
It's canonical.
Who wins that game?
It's a tie between Gavin and Owen.
Harry, can you give us a put on the tiebreaker video there, Harry?
He's in the chat. Maybe we could ask him to give us a tiebreaker.
Just a quick
I'll just-
tiebreaker.
I'll just give you his final.
Let's say
clip.
Thank you for playing my game. Goodbye.
Oh, there you go. Okay, that was the tiebreaker
Sorry,
question.
sorry.
Thank you very much. Harry.
Wasn't really your game though, was it, Harry?
I really
Yeah,
like
Harry,
to
thank you very much. He's in the chat, so I'm just saying thank you.
I really like to think that Harry's Room of Dirt has that music playing all the time. I can just picture that right
All the
now.
dirt is there because they're trying to cover the source of the music.
You know,
And no matter
we've
how
had-
much dirt they put in, it keeps coming through.
We've had that conversation on about like how horrifying it is to think that in Yodobashi camera in Japan right now, that music is playing right now and is always playing, and that's happening in Harry's
There's a
bedroom.
staff member just sitting in the middle of it now. hearing it.
You know what? When we do the quiz later, when we do the second game, I'll add up all the points. So hopefully there'll be a clear winner.
Let's do collective points through
Collective
all the,
points,
Doesn't
okay.
make sense.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah,
So there's going to be a champion.
Yeah, there's going to be a champion.
yeah.
Celebrate the first 10 years of the podcast with the first champion.
First
And
10
the
years,
next
first 20
10
episodes.
years.
You put into the
Davros.
Doctor Who Hall of Fame.
Davros, do you have any? Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
H Bomber guy has asked. The last question is which doctor can't cancel his naked wines order?
Oh, I know. That's Colin Baker.
Well done. I'm gonna give him that. I'm gonna give you that.
Right, on win straight up.
Oh, right. Abby Balmer says this is a perfect Friday night. That's very nice, isn't it? It's very nice to have people complimenting us while we're recording.
Davros, do you have anything to say about Harry's performance just now?
You will be punished for this!
I mean, Abby is very kind to say that, but she's accidentally put that in our chat. She's actually watching the Transformers event.
I didn't realize there was a Transformers event on.
There's a Transformers every week. They put it on, Richie.
The
You know,
second it was mentioned, the numbers just.
the Exodus.
Oh my god! I'm missing the Transformers. I hear there's going to be a new Megatron this year. Anyway,
you know what? There is.
All right, so episode 3, Clams.
We should do a Transformers special where you make me watch Transformers.
You wouldn't like it. It's all shite. I don't even like it.
Sean, you make me really want the episodes to have individual names. So clams! Exclamation mark.
Clam minds.
This is genuinely. I gave each episode a title.
All right.
Genuinely in my notes, and episode 3 was called this is before I watched the episode. Episode 3, The Twisted Tit.
Or 1 and 2.
It would also be really good to like if you're watching on iPlayer or Netflix or something, and you see that cliffhanger of Sarah Jane Smith falling, and you can see the next episode is called Clams. And you think, I genuinely don't know where this is going. This is good, like, mystery.
Funeral for an assistant. Oh shit.
So yeah, so straight into episode 3. It's one of those. It's one of those where they wind back quite far into the previous episode at the start of it, until we get to the point where Sarah Jane falls, and she falls about 3 feet onto a platform, and somebody goes, "Are you all right?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'm fine, thanks."
They fucking Flash Gordon cartooned us again.
Yeah. I shouldn't be annoyed by it because it's Doctor Who. Who cares? It's for kids and all that stuff. But it did bug me a little bit how intense the cliffhanger was.
Yeah.
Coupled with, I'm fine. Can you keep climbing? Yeah.
Let's
I would say, I mean, this might constitute jumping ahead, but if Genesis of the Daleks has a flaw, it's that the cliffhangers love to be like, that's it, they're fucking dead. And like in just the last 5 seconds of the episode, well, that's it. And and the immediacy of the do not worry about what you just saw. That problem dealt with.
Until it gets to the clip that I showed earlier, which is actually the end when they get in the hole and that's
it. That's
bang,
the
bang,
end.
Bang, bang, bang.
We
bang,
don't
bang.
need
That's how the 90. That's
anymore.
how the 90-minute edit ends.
Yeah.
That's how they edit it. They just cut off.
Yeah.
90 minutes. You got your 90 minutes.
You got time for bed. Brush your teeth.
If you want the 9-minute version, it's when the landmine explodes. Anyway, episode 3.
Yeah, so it's funny actually. I've got Big Clam written down, but I know I wrote it down because Harry said something in Latin, and I googled it, and Google kind of went, "Well, I don't really know what that means, but I think it means big clam."
Harry,
that
just
makes
say
sense,
big
given
clam.
Just say big clam. You posh
I
get.
think,
You're allowed to say big clam.
do you know what really annoyed me just before the clam was see when they're at the top of the rocket and they're like, you got to jump over here and I'll catch you and all that stuff. It would have drove me mad as a kid because I had and still do have no compassion. So see when a character's too scared to move or do anything, and they're like, "Come on, you're going to die," and they're like, I can't do it." In my mind, I'm like, "Fuck them." Let them
She's holding you back. She's holding you back.
Especially when you realize you see the wide shot and it is one step.
Yeah. They're like, "You jump over and I'll catch you." It's fine.
It's literally like getting on a train.
Oh, but the man's already shouting. The doors are going to close. I'm going to be chopped in half.
Like when the guards grab them, and then the guy's like dangling Sarah Jane over the edge.
Yeah.
And it's like, he's like, some people, people die when they fall from a great height. They die before they hit the ground. And I was like, that sounds lovely. That sounds great. That's a relief. Brilliant.
So the start of episode 3, they don't escape, and everyone has been shot and killed.
Yeah.
Now, I wrote down, is Sarah Jane going to say that was a bad idea?
That was a waste of time.
Is she going to admit? I just think, even out of politeness to the one surviving mutant.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, by the way, because I was kind of the one who was like, we should all do this. And what I said kind of got everybody aside from us killed.
Yeah.
And we achieved nothing. I should at least say, not a great idea.
Put my hands up here. Put my hands up here, boys.
Especially when we got to, sorry, by the way, when we got to the top, and I was like, I can't do this.
I don't know what I was thinking, because it was only a little gap. It was like that.
So my plan was we all climb up there and escape through there. And what happened was everybody got killed, and I didn't want to do it when we got there.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Imagine she stopped and went, you know what? I think that whole escapade had no narrative importance whatsoever.
We might as well just stay put.
Whoever was doing the 90-minute cut was looking at the whole sequence, licking their lips.
Yeah.
I know, but they'd be going, look at that climbing, though. You got to get that in there.
I know. It's like,
just speed it up. Well, fucking look at them go.
Yeah, God. They knew how to climb back then.
They had nothing else.
I did write in my notes, I bet Owen likes the giant clam. And did you?
I immediately did a doodle of the giant clam.
Nailed
Instead of writing
adding it
about
to your giant clam doodle collection. You got your clam book there.
It is just filing it away
under
1975 giant clams.
With a big leg.
One of the thickest sections.
All of them have a curly hair with a rock on top.
And what I like about
there's a comment. Woodabuzz just said, I hate Doctor Who is primarily a podcast about how no one had anything to do in the 70s.
You've really got to get this into the slipstream of remember.
Yeah.
Great British memories.
Climbing
really
up
blow
things.
some minds.
Remembering dates, climbing up things.
These four guys just talk about how there was nothing.
Yeah.
And it's hard to argue.
Reading books, looking at art, remembering history. That's all they had.
Getting drunk in front of a 4-bar heater.
I love everything about the giant clams. I don't think anyone is going to have anything bad to say about the giant clams. But one of the many things I like about the giant clams is a big problem with Doctor Who, old Doctor Who. It's come up on the podcast before, but there'll often be a big monster wandering around for reasons that are really hard to understand or justify. Yeah. But in this, I fully accepted Davros has other experiments. He did other I don't know about the clam angle.
Davros's giant clam experiment. Imagine
it's like shell, the outer shell. That's like the Dalek robot suit.
Inside. They are kind of gooey.
Yeah. It's kind of funny that this was their first opportunity to justify we could have any big roving monster at all. And someone said, this could be the chance to roll out the giant clams we've been meaning to use.
It's funny when they went into before the giant clam, because I'd forgotten the giant clam, and I was thinking to myself, some shit is going to be down here. And I was pleasantly surprised at the giant clam.
Yeah.
But that's
They've
very
made
funny
it-
because I was imagining Davros rolling out the giant clam and being like, check this.
Yeah.
And all the
I'd
other
say
stuff.
what
I've been
happened
working on.
was Davros
But now
rolled out the giant.
Sean's point there, I'm like, oh god, maybe Daleks are based on big clams.
I think Davros rolled out the giant clams for testing, and then
Right.
the people that the clams were supposed to kill jumped over the clams, much in the
Oh, yeah,
same
yeah.
way that the doctor and the assistants did. And Davros says, "Whatever I do next, it's going to have to be taller than these clams." That's it. Once he had that, the Dalek was
Yeah.
more or less ready to go.
Imagine a
Taller,
clam on
but
wheels.
just as deadly. I don't want to
clam with a gun?
around. Maybe give them a gun. The TARDIS
Clam with
wiki-
no emotions. Say goodbye to the universe.
Yeah, that's it. If the clams get with it, the TARDIS wiki told us there was only one trivia piece for this that I thought was interesting for this episode.
Okay.
But it was like, did you know at this point in Tom Baker's career, he had genuine washboard abs, like big, dehydrated, sore as fuck looking 6-pack, because he was working out like fuck, and he was a powerhouse. And they hid it underneath the clothes. But see, when he bends the bars at the waistline, that's not special effects.
Yeah.
He was just strong as hell and had a sick 6-pack.
Was that in the trivia, was it?
That was in the trivia on the.
He picks up that boulder as well. He picks up the boulder to smash the clam, and it's big
They're
boulder.
like, Tom, let's swap that boulder out for a styrofoam one. He's like, no need. Fuck off.
Fetch me a real boulder.
Like
By
when
lifting
when
those
Robert
old-
Patrick runs in Terminator 2 and they're like, we'll speed the footage up, and he's like, no need, I can run fast as fuck.
And James said, "I don't want that kind of language on my set."
Now, is it this
There's a
episode?
kid here for Christ.
Is it this episode? No, I think it might be episode 4. Let me know we're on episode 4. I've got things to say about episode 4.
Wake me up when we get to episode 4.
We'll just talk until we're on episode
Well,
4.
Towards
to
the
give
end
the-
of episode 3, I liked when Doctor Who was left with the rocket. I was like, I'll take care of this. I'm going to try and stop this rocket. And it really looks like his first plan is to sort of like push it over. He's just got his hands on it. He's like using that super Tom Baker strength. Like, no, I can't push the rocket over. And then it's the first real, we need a cliffhanger. And he gets electrocuted. It's like, did anyone see that electrocution and think Doctor Who is in danger?
Is dead.
Yeah.
That's the end of him, then.
That's one of his hearts just
Is
gone.
it this episode then where Davros is not interrogated? The higher ups come to him to say, "We need to investigate your project." Is that this episode?
So that happens a bit later, but I was about to mention this actually because I was worried it was too serious a point, but something that hit a bit harder than it did when I was younger was like obviously you got Davros trying to fucking kill everyone.
Yeah.
And the higher ups are like, we're going to look into it with an independent tribunal.
Yeah.
Well, that's not. I think because of that, right? I don't want to be like judge a book by its cover or anything like that. Like they should simply all batter Davros, push their thumbs into his fontanelle,
Or simply press his button on his chair.
press the button. Like you'd be like, because Davros is like, all right, well we'll have a tribunal, but you won't find anything. He rip his arms off. He's up to no
If you
good.
just put your point down on his button, and then you
Two
can be
things.
like, "Oh, sorry."
Two things. Because I think I might have not listened at the bit where they're. Do they go on? Did they ever go on about why he looks like a mad little yoke? Is he mutated or why is that?
No,
He's
there's
just
stuff.
evil.
Yeah, it's not explored in this story anyway.
So he's just a little man. He's just a man in a thing.
Yeah, he's one of the Kaleds, but something's
guy.
happened to him that's made him.
He's the bad gamer.
He's
Number
the bad
2.
gamer. Too many games.
I absolutely love.
He's been speed running too long.
Yeah,
That's what happens.
I already liked Davros, but when he was doing all of his pretending to be nice stuff,
Oh, yeah.
I just want to I've got some of the belters here. Just lots of great stuff. I just particularly liked.
I welcome any inquiry into our work here. I think the idea is an excellent one.
Yeah,
I
all
love,
that slimy,
Yeah.
nice stuff was so
If you so
good.
wish, then naturally I will obey.
It's great stuff. I really
It
liked.
is.
Big fan of
No price is too great to pay for peace.
and just this is the shortest one, my favorite, and I'm gonna roll this one out a lot, but just
Working together.
that sounds like an ad for Allied Irish Bank.
But it's true that is something I would look at those scenes when I was younger as this is practically a plot hole.
Yeah.
Like, why is this clearly evil guy getting away with this when it's like, why isn't just anyone around him just being like, no, fuck you, and like stopping it? And you look at it now, it's like, oh god. Things are just run this fucking terribly. And this is how we're all going to die. There'll be someone with a fucking button, and everyone standing around them will be like, don't know.
We'll look into
I don't want to be the first one to say as the insane, horrible man goes to push the kill all life. But it's like, well, I do have a pension to think about.
Yeah.
Maybe if I stand next to the guy who pushes the button, I'll be okay.
I'll be. It was a wee bit like, maybe a wee bit queasier than it maybe used to.
I think I do have one more bit of trivia for this episode. About when the Doctor is zapped to the electric fence as the big cliffhanger. So the TARDIS wiki says there is I don't know, you'll have known this, Ricky. Sorry, Richie.
Wow.
Ricky.
Wow.
A brief second of footage was cut from the cliffhanger. We see close-ups of the Doctor's contorting face, his wrists, and his ankles. But the original cut of the episode showed a growing bulge in the Doctor's pants, as he clearly was getting off on it hard.
Yeah.
That was the intent. Like, quick, hit the fucking.
You just saw it going like just a half a second shot. But
the original masters were destroyed as well, so we'll never know. We'll never
destroy those masters, by the way.
The master is never truly destroyed. We know that.
Bad masters destroyed.
Also, in episode 3, they go to. This is the first time we go to the Thal city, and the Thal's a lovely kind of 70s brown beige with little columns everywhere, which I quite enjoyed.
That's because they like art and stuff.
Yeah.
Do you say Thal City or Thal City?
That's it, Thal. That's it, Thal City.
So, is episode 3? This is just me asking. Is episode 3 the one where they do this?
And the answer is always no.
No, that'll be episode 4. I think a lot of my things are in episode 4.
The Clam was in episode 3. That's all you need to know.
That's why it's called the Clam. That's why it's called the Clam.
We're not talking about the Clam anymore, Sean.
You can do your own Clam podcast if you want.
I also love. It's just a general thing, but I love in old 70s telly how violence has no sounds. So it's just always this quiet. When the Doctor comes out and punches the guard in the stomach.
Oh yeah,
he falls to the ground. It's always a quiet. Poop.
The Doctor also
it's the dome.
Yeah.
Oh, is that
Because like there's a moment
so
at the
fast
end
as well. Yeah.
Episode 3, the Doctor does this badass taking the guys' heads and knocking them together.
Yeah.
You're like, fucking A, man, brilliant.
What does he say to them? He does a wee distracting statement, and then he's like, bang.
Yeah.
So the Doctor gets zapped. He gets thrown into a prison cell. I've written for episode 4, actually, anyone trusting Davros is very funny.
Yeah.
Well, they
anyone looking
haven't
at
watched
Davros?
all the new episodes, Richie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They've just met him.
that
And
you're
he's
right.
like,
Actually,
take this jar of stuff and it'll melt a dome.
Well, actually, that's one thing that I quite liked about this because, since people might draw parallels between this and everyone's favorite film character, Palpatine, and how he used to not be all ugly and horrible looking. And that's when they did the origin story. I like this, and they stick to like, no, he was always a horrible little goblin. But they were just like, no, he's fine. Listen to him. Don't worry about it.
He's actually sound once you get to know him.
But Star Wars is all like, oh, he used to be good because he looked like a regular guy.
he looked
But
normal.
once people stopped trusting him, that's when he turned into a funny man.
They keep mentioning that like Davros can't be that bad because he made that thing for getting around. Hyperloop, anyone?
Oh, shit.
Oh,
It's like going like, when are we going to all turn into those blob guys? Then is that going to happen soon? Because we don't really need those right now. Like, no, we will. Don't
No,
worry about it.
invest now. Because if you invest now, when it's really good, because you don't want to be left out for when it gets really good,
Yeah, you want to be an early adopter of being turned into a little.
Oh no, okay, be left behind if you want.
Yeah,
be left behind if you want. We'll be like this. And you'll be like, oh, you'll be a fucking clam.
you'll be a clam, my friend.
You'll be sat there, a clam.
I'm in a cave. Sorry.
After the rocket blows up the dome, everybody's fucking dead. And Doctor Who, as far as he's concerned, his assistants,
Oh yeah.
killed, and
Done.
he's in mourning as
Yeah.
he walks through the Thal corridors. But as he passes the cheering men,
Yes.
and grabs the hand, and he's immediately beaming. I genuinely don't think there's a moment in any media, documentary or otherwise fiction, that better shows what being an alcoholic is like. Because like
I thought you were going to say what
moment,
being a leader is like, or something like that.
in
You've
that
got a
moment,
good face.
the way Doctor Who acts there, that is just so, like you're walking back from the toilet in the pub and someone in the bathroom asks like, oh, is it not your daughter's birthday today? I was like, God, how could I have forgotten that? How could I have forgotten that? I've really messed everything up. And you're walking back to your table, back to your pint, looking down. But then someone goes by and say, "Wait!" And it's like you're back on top.
You're back.
You're back on top.
Fucking
Yeah, you
back
go.
on top.
Is
Get
that not your
those
daughter's
juniper
birthday?
berries into me.
I watched that scene over and over for a few reasons, but the main one was, Richie, is it Super Mario All-Stars where does the crowd chatter and you hear the guy say what?
I don't give a fucking.
I don't give a fuck. The cheers in this are just so obviously like, right, they've been told, right, you have peace now, and I think maybe victory. Just say things like that, and you just hear just like, and you go, peace. Peace. And I was like, again, bringing it back to Star Wars prequels, we make fun of the Wisa Free stuff, but the Wisa Free moment was actually quite good compared to this. I'm going to play it back, and I want you to just pick out the words
See if we can hear it.
and just how good the actual dialogue is.
Peace.
Peace. Peace, thank you. Hey, like they have just won a brutal, like endless
1,000-year war.
Oh, great. Peace.
Oh, great. Help us. Help us.
He's saying
Anyway.
peas. He was
Peas.
ordering
Yeah,
it should be.
Please.
When
Oh,
they
great.
We have achieved mushy peas.
That's what it was like when we gained our independence. We were all like, "Oh, great, peace."
Peace.
the peas process.
So we
When-
get in episode 4. We come to the end of episode 4. This is when we get Davros's first kind of interrogation with the Doctor when he ties them up. I think it's quite good. It's like, if you don't answer your questions, I'm going to hurt your pals.
Yeah.
That's how you know he's bad, man.
That's how you know
You
he's
know,
bad. Yeah. Bad,
He
but
gets
clever.
to the core of the Doctor.
Bad,
The
but-
Doctor
yeah.
would be like, torture me, make me hurt me, but they'd be like, no, we're going to hurt your friend's Doctor, because he is the he is, forget Christ, he is the Prince of Peace.
Yeah.
Peace.
Peace. Not my friend.
But also, episode 4's cliffhanger is a good. It's always good to get a shouty Davros. One of my favorite things about Davros is his thing where he's talking normally like this, and then he starts getting bigger, and then he's screaming.
Yeah.
I think
What
that's
does he
really
say
great.
again?
And I think it's a great
It's
way
like-
because the theme tune just comes in halfway through that sentence.
You will tell
Just
me.
like wrap it
You
up.
will tell me.
Just pushing up the.
But that's like the thing that got me with this was like when Davros again. I don't want to judge a book by its cover, but
When he
Davros
shouts like a Dalek.
he shouts like a Dalek, and the guy's like that. He finds that one guy, the guy who's like rebelling against him, and he's like, "I've caught you now." Just rip the wires out his head.
I was thinking
No.
it must be one of the earliest versions of like over prequeling stuff. It's like the Daleks sound like funny robots because the guy who made them had a funny robot voice.
He had a
And
funny
that's why they
robot
sound
voice.
like that. Yeah, and he talked like
Um,
that.
I have
He's
a
great.
Doctor Who question here in my notes for Richie.
Okay.
Richie, did they ever do young Davros, like young Sheldon?
There's a bunch of Big Finish stories which I haven't heard, which are apparently quite good. That are all about Davros's life.
So
But
we've
also-
got
I
want
young
milk.
Davros.
I want milk.
Also,
Milk.
the 12th Doctor meets Davros as a child. It's a great moment as well. Very cool. But it's not. It's just he meets Davros as a child. It doesn't.
Yeah.
Is
Doesn't
Davros
matter.
played by the guy who does the Dalek voices, or is it just that they have a thing that anyone can sound like a Dalek?
So a brief glimpse at the wiki. The guy.
You're right.
so-
I could have done that. You're right.
No. So the guy that played the guy that does the Dalek voices, Roy Skelton, who was also the voice of Zippy, which is very funny because now when you know that and then you hear Zippy talk, you're like, oh god.
I will go on.
But I think he was busy, so they got Michael Wisher in to do it. But yeah, the voice, they use a thing called a ring modulator, which just distorts the voice.
Got one of those
Which is still what they use in the.
What
yeah,
number are
there's
you up to on your ring modulator?
Davros, would you like to switch on the ring modulator?
I'm currently at 50 pence piece. That's where I am right now.
I quite like that.
Don't rush it.
The thing is, it's like
Don't rush it.
the Davros is in pretty much every Dalek story after this.
As it
It
should
always
be.
comes back, and but I guess it's like I think the thing like they had loads of Dalek stories in the 60s, and then there probably was a point where like, how do we? Because there's no real way to interact with them, so suddenly you've got this kind of person, the spokesperson that you can have a kind of.
It does make the Daleks much more fun.
Yeah.
Like it's knowing that Davros. If you're like, this one's got Daleks in it, okay, but it's going to have Davros in it. I'm like, I'll be there Saturday night.
Rossing it up. They call
Me
him
and the
Ross
boys.
by the later seasons. They're just calling him Ross.
This is actually after this one, they never made another Dalek story without the giant clams.
If you look, there's always a little reference to the Clam. episode.
And over
I think-
here are
and the
our
great thing is,
clams.
Before, when they had the clams, there was no real way to kind of interact with them. So they did the guy who made the clams in one go with the Daleks as well.
The Daleks are just the first wave. Once they've cleared out the universe of everyone else, they'll step aside. The ultimate creature, the clams.
A big clam.
Yummy
I don't
clams.
want
Davros,
to push.
Davros, how big are the clams here?
So massive.
Oh, so massive.
Absolutely.
Richie,
That
I know
doesn't
this
tell
is-
us how large they are, Davros.
Yeah, they might be big, but compared to a normal clam, or
Like as big as a plate, as big as a mountain.
Richie, this is of course, and no one's trying to say it isn't okay. Before you fucking start, no one's trying to say this isn't your show, all right?
Right.
But you do look exhausted. Do you think we could take
Maybe
a
I-
second,
maybe I could
have
take
a
a
bit
wee-
of fun?
Yeah. A wee bit of R&R.
That's all I'm saying. Just again, and is this a family stream?
No, it's after hours. It's
Perfect.
too hot. Not too hot for TV. That's another podcast. It's
30 minutes over the watershed.
Yeah.
I've
It's
got a
after
quiz for
hours,
you if that's
baby.
okay.
Yeah.
Is that all right? Right, give me. I'll just sit. In fact, hold on a second. Sorry, that's my doorbell. Give me a second.
Is that actually your doorbell? Oh, he's away.
I
No.
suspect
Oh, yeah.
chicanery.
Is he doing something? Is he messing?
I need bother. Right, okay. I'm going to make us a cup of tea. You just go and you go right ahead, okay? You just head up there. I need, but just up here, is it? Yeah, it's just up here. No bother. Sounds good. I just set this up. We're good to go. Hello. I am the doctor. I am the cool doctor from Gallifrey. I'm here to
Wow,
tell
such
you-
an honor.
Oh, this must be the doctor from the film.
I'm a
cool
future doctor from after Billy Piper. Who obviously, she did several series.
A return to form, they call it.
Everyone said it's the best they've ever done.
William
I'm the
Piper.
cool doctor. Richie,
Oh,
who is your
Billy
favorite doctor?
Sorry, Billy Piper regenerated into you. And I would love to see the cinema reactions.
Hello. On the screen going, shut up, shut up.
Kill him, kill him.
And of course,
BBC in flames.
and Richie, why did Billy Piper turn into me?
Who knows?
Because she wants to.
Because you oh, I see. Right, okay, I'm here. I'm with you now.
Now, this game is based on one of my own adventures, one you haven't seen or heard, because it's in an unpublished book by author Terrence Dicks. Now, I won't be saying the name of Terrence Dicks with a speech impediment, which some fans seem to think is fine. Now,
Sorry, I'm not even listening. I just keep looking at you.
I fail to
Richie,
see the
Richie,
humor.
you've just met this person.
Sorry, I'm sorry. Yeah,
that's
no, you're
not
right,
Say
the
that
you're
to
right.
people.
That's
I'm
way
the
to
cool
be.
doctor.
Well, can I just say, cool doctor, it's an absolute pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you. Baseball caps are cool, you know. Now, remember when that lassie from Dairy Girls turned into the Star of Bethlehem?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. This is the first
Well,
question.
well, no. Well, so does Davros, who has connected his own balls to the energy of that star. If we do nothing, as Terrence Dicks wrote, a great calamity will befall the universe, all universes, as this megalomaniacal despot brings himself off, indeed, spunking a dark universe of his own. In order to do this, Davros must pump his fist, and what gets him off more than anything? That's right, people getting Doctor Who trivia wrong. Get a question wrong, and Davros will be one step closer to a shuddering climax, trapping us all in his glory. Get a question right, and the feedback will shock the balls of the Dalek creator, giving all of us one chance to hit his pills directly with an open palm slap. 5 questions, each a chance to stop this beast from jacking it off until his dick is soft. Get 3 these questions correct, and you'll give the bastard a set of blue balls he won't forget. Question 1.
I'm ready.
Feel free to jump in whenever.
Oh,
Well, let's say you can all decide on an answer together. How's that?
Yeah,
That sounds fair. I've got
Thanks,
a chameleon.
Doctor. I
that
think
sounds
that gives
good,
us
cool
our-
Doctor. Thank you.
I think that gives us our best chance to blue ball
Yeah.
Davros.
Chameleon will be keeping score in the TARDIS. The original pilot episode of Docky, as I call it, was reshot before broadcast in order to change the very personality of the Doctor. Now, were the reshoots intended to make the Doctor more mysterious and friendly, or more selfish and antagonistic? Please decide your collective answer now.
Sean?
More selfish and antagonistic, right? He was a little
I'm gonna go with friendly.
more friendly.
This
I
feels
think
like
I might side with Richie on this one. No.
Yeah.
this feels like the best VHS board game.
Stop! Whose turn is it next? If we're going with friendly,
Uh-huh.
yes? Yes?
Yeah. Yeah.
Indeed, the pilot was shot to make the Doctor friendlier, which when you watch it back today seems fucking absurd. A classic era episode, The Curse of Peladon, was rewritten extensively due to concerns over potential backlash from which real-life industry?
And say that again? Sorry.
Fucking the classic
Rewind the tape.
The classic Doctor Who, this is my show, episode,
Uh-huh.
The Curse of Peladon, was rewritten extensively due to concerns over potential backlash from which real-life industry?
Oh, I don't know.
Coal.
Meat.
Coal and meat.
I'm gonna say oil.
You have to have a collective thing. I'm
Coal,
sorry.
coal, meat, and oil.
They all come together to make a nice dinner. Actually, You can-
It's pick one, I'm afraid. That's the rules.
okay.
Chameleon won't have it any other way.
Coal. I'll go coal.
Coal. Let's say coal.
Coal.
I'm
It's the
afraid
70s.
that's wrong. The episode was intended to be a direct allegory criticizing the oil industry.
Oh, Richie,
as
you
ever,
said
I
oil.
said oil. I did say oil.
But as ever, the beeb shat the bed. Now, question 3. In the episode, The Deadly Assassin, pieces
Mhm.
of the set were reused from a BBC production of which Shakespeare play?
Oh,
Um,
Hamlet.
one has
yeah.
Hamlet.
Let's say Hamlet. Yeah.
That's right. It was Hamlet.
Hey.
Nothing
Nice.
funny to say about that. Now, I've made it into a lot of books, which you may have read from time to time. But which Time Lord concept was first introduced in these books, particularly Virgin's new adventure novels, which went on to inspire, i.e., be plundered by, Russell T. Davies for the 2005 revival?
Oh, sorry. I thought you were. I thought it was multiple choice.
No,
Is it the translation thing? The
it's
TARDIS
quite simple,
translate?
Richie. Which of the books?
Oh, which of the
introduced-
books?
No, sorry. These books introduced which concept? Especially the Virgin New Adventures novels. There's a little hint for you.
Oh, I
That
haven't
went
read
on to
any of them.
inspire
They're
the
all
2005
virgins.
revival.
They're all virgins. They don't have children. They don't give birth. This is a new thing, Richie.
That they can't reproduce.
Is that your answer?
Yeah, let's go with that. Yeah.
Well, it's wrong. It was,
Okay.
of course, the Time Wars. You sad
Well, the
sacks.
Time War.
Fucking idiots.
Yeah.
That wasn't in
It's
the
cool.
new. That was the first. That was the BBC ones.
Oh,
You're gonna question this cool doctor?
Richie, I think the cool doctor
The
knows.
cool doctor would know. I'm sorry. I
said-
shouldn't,
oh,
I shouldn't
yeah.
question.
No, I suppose you're right. You'll know more about Doctor Who than fucking Doctor Who. Last question. This is for all the spunk in the universe.
Oh yeah, how is Damros's balls doing? by the way?
Right
We just
now,
did a
he's
ball
at
check.
fever pitch. He's at fever pitch. Now, what is
He's
the
tickling
name?
the dragon's tail right now.
What is the name of the non-humanoid companion that traveled with the Eighth Doctor in Doctor Who magazine comics?
Frobisher, the penguin.
no. No.
Eggy, the chicken.
Eggy.
I think it's Eggy.
We're going with
Eggy.
Eggy.
Yeah.
Well, I'm afraid the companion was called Ship, a sentient biomechanical vessel that communicated through telepathy and shifting its interior. Wow.
Did you say
Well, I've
shit
been
or
there.
chip?
Oh, I thought it was the
Ship.
penguin.
With
Ship.
an S. It wasn't the penguin. I'm afraid,
Gavin,
boys.
I mean, Doctor, cool doctor. Whose answer was closer?
I
Oh,
think
wow,
This,
Eggy
this-
was
this
closer.
this podcast with each episode really goes to show how little I know about fucking Doctor Who.
Well, it's probably all wrong anyway. Don't worry about
doesn't
it.
even know who Eggy is.
I'm
Eggy
afraid,
is
boys,
closer, right?
Yeah.
you have failed. Davros chuckles in his pre-orgasmic glee. The vinegars, the vinegars. He roars. As an evil universe under his control sprouts from his wicked urethra, which I should say does have a little blue eye on the top. Anyway, I'm a Time Lord. I'm the cool doctor. None of this matters. I'll take you all back in time to before this happened, and we'll sort it all out. Because fuck it, you know? Who cares? But I want to say thank you for having me. This will
Thanks,
cost
cool
you all 80
doctor.
quid on Cameo. And I'll see you all for mass. Bye now.
It was an honor.
Hi,
An
cool
honor.
doctor. God, cool doctor's so great. I wonder.
Yeah, he's very cool.
Are you done, mate? How'd it go? Aye, just this way, mate. Right, no bother. Nice guy.
Man, I'm going to stay tuned. I can't wait until we get through all this Billy Piper
Does it-
stuff. And
You really could have used Gavin's help for all
Yeah.
that.
Whew. Brilliant.
Gavin, I don't know if you're seeing that when your camera turns back on, there's one frame of what was happening before. So yeah, it's just good stuff.
I want to do my game. I'm sort of aware that we've been doing this for about an hour and 45 minutes now, but let's do a quick bit of my game.
Look,
Before
we'll
we
breeze through the
go
last
into
two
the
episodes.
conclusion.
Nothing really happens anyway. So just games. And then last
Games,
bit.
Honestly,
games.
I'd say I'd watched Genesis of the Daleks before this, so I actually didn't even watch the last episode, so I'm fine.
yeah, I didn't see episode 6 either.
Yeah, episode
But
6.
I did kind of, I got it, like, you know, right.
He knew
I
where it was
did
going.
mention.
The Daleks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Davros
I
invented the
mentioned
Daleks.
the-
Gotcha.
I had to get my car taken in to get some tires fixed. So I also only watched as far as 5.
Wait, so we only have one more episode to go. That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, but we can only talk with authority on one more episode anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
We'll play the game. Maybe we'll
definitely
get
don't want
about 6.
anyone
Game,
picking
game,
up. the-
game.
Okay. So it's Friday night on the planet Scarrow. The Daleks in their sealed dome are finding new ways to entertain themselves. And nothing that Daleks love more than a bit of karaoke. Now, the Daleks have one favorite band, being from the 70s and that. And I call this game Genesis and the Daleks.
Nice.
Now, I'm going to play you clips of Daleks singing songs by members of Genesis, and you've got to tell me which members of Genesis these songs are by. And I'm just going to play them, and as soon as you know who the artist is, put your hand up. Okay.
Is it Genesis?
No, it's not Genesis. None of them are Genesis.
Listen.
They're just
Listen.
Genesis adjacent, Genesis related. Okay.
Okay.
Here we go. I'm going to play them in a sort of muffle. I'm going to play them random. Okay, here we go.
I'm going to play them on the computer.
This is where I get sort of kind of embarrassed. Hold on.
She calls out to the man on the street. He can see she's been crying. She's got blisters on the soles of her feet. She can't walk, but she's trying. Oh, think twice. It's just another day for you and me in paradise. Oh, think twice. It's just another day for you and me in paradise. She calls out to the man.
That's
I
enough.
was like, he's doing it again. Second verse. Oh, it's incredible.
Okay, so who's going to put their hand up? Gav,
Hello.
who wrote that song?
Was that Phil Collins?
That was a Phil Collins song, indeed. It's a point for Gavin. Okay,
Old bastards went out again.
so there's not many artists that can be, by the way. So, right, here we go.
All my instincts, they return. The grand facade so soon will burn. Without a noise, without my pride, I reach out from the inside. In your eyes, the light, the heat, in your eyes, I am complete in your eyes. I see the doorway in your eyes. My vision is impaired in your eyes. I cannot see.
Starting to rap there.
Rhythm there. Also, Richie, I couldn't help but notice you couldn't stop yourself from mouthing along with most of them.
I thought he was just doing them.
This honestly didn't even need to be a game.
Show us what you've made.
Listen to this.
Yeah.
Owen,
Was that Peter Gabriel?
it was indeed.
Was he in
The best thing
Genesis
about
late
this-
enough?
I went
I
through the
was gonna
trouble
say
of
Peter Gabriel.
isolating the vocals from the song and then running them through before realizing that wasn't going to work and I was going to have to sing them all myself.
I'm so glad you did.
I guess I'll just have to do it myself, folks.
Okay. Next one.
She's the kind of girl you dream of keeping hold of. You'd better forget it. You'll never get it. She will play around and leave you and deceive you. Better forget it. Oh, you'll regret it. No, you'll never change her, so leave it. Get out quick, 'cause seeing is believing. It's the only way you'll ever know. Oh, she's an easy lover. She's the kind of girl you
Is that Phil Collins? I don't know.
Yeah, that's Phil Collins.
Okay.
Oh, that got
Well,
me.
This doubles as you've got stings sorted for the next 10 years.
Oh, that really got me.
Okay. What else have we got?
I
here?
know this just goes on for fucking ages.
The whole discography is covered. He's just putting it on shuffle. He's got it all.
How can you just walk away from me when all I do is watch you leave? 'Cause we've shared the laughter and the pain and even shared the tears. You're the only one who ever knew me at all. So take a look at me now. Well, there's just an empty space. And there's nothing left here to remind me. Just the memory of your face.
Think about take a look at me now. The memory of me of the Dalek race.
Oh shit! Yeah.
We're getting
Gavin
into
knows that
dangerous. Halfway through that, I realized this is dangerous stuff because you think about some of these bands. It's like, you know, it's Radiohead, but it's reggae. It's
Oh yeah.
you know, it's Guns N'
Grandma
Roses, but it's by
Bluegrass.
bagpipes.
Yeah.
If
By
the wrong
bagpipes.
people get their hands on this,
On this tech.
we cannot allow Genesis and the Daleks to become a pub band. This cannot escape.
I don't think there's anything I'd like to see more than like a pub band with Richie doing that through like a vocoder.
Right, hold on.
And everyone asking like anything other than Genesis related songs, like anything else? No.
No.
Yeah, that one was that
all
wasn't
have to
Genesis,
be
mate. Like, but that was Phil Collins, mate. It's different. Totally different.
I should probably answer the question.
Oh no, Gav. I think Gav got it, didn't he?
Gavin knows anything about Phil Collins, man.
Well, Gav got the point anyway. Right, hold on. Next one.
The place where I come from is a small town. They think so small, they use small words. But not me. I'm smarter than that. I worked it out. I've been stretching my mouth to let these big words come right out. I've had...
You know that's a 5-minute file. Right.
This one's gonna go. I know who this one's for.
That's
Yes, there's a
Peter Gabriel.
Owen O'Donnell.
Right, there's one left. There's one left.
It's gotta be one of the members of
Just in
Genesis.
case the gag hasn't landed.
I'm loving it. Don't you worry. Don't you listen to him.
One more.
Don't listen to him. I'm loving it.
Every day, it's a losing battle. Just to smile and hold my head up high. Could it be that we belong together? Baby, won't you give me one more try? Looking back over my shoulder, I can see that look in your eye.
Richie, this is the happiest I've ever seen you look.
Proud, so proud.
So
were
delighted.
you in the house on your own when this happened, or did you do this in your office? Or
Yeah, no, I did. I was in the house today on my own, and I was even worried at the neighbors because I was. You have to shout sing this stuff, you know.
yeah,
Richie has been building to this for 10 years. This is the big payoff.
Honestly,
You're
see
going
when
to
the
get
words.
a crowd in. It's going to be live.
See, a couple of weeks ago when the words Genesis and the Daleks popped into my head, I was like, "Oh my god, I'm so happy." So who was that one?
Peter
Another
Gabriel.
Collins classic.
No,
I thought it was another Collins classic, mate.
it's not Gabriel. It's not Collins.
Mike Rutherford.
Yes, Mike and the Mechanics. It's one for Sean.
Yes, yes. Oh, I love it. I
Right.
just like the idea of your neighbours being like, "You see who's moved in next door?"
All of
I
Genesis.
didn't realize they'd gotten back together. But... No, surely it's only one of them. No, listen.
Phil
Phil
so
Collins could probably fit inside a Dalek. I think he's only wee, isn't he?
Do you know Phil Collins said in his biography that he was considered to play the Bad Master
Is that
in
right?
the '96 movie?
When you say
Now, when he says
said, it
well, when
seems
he
like-
says that, it sounds like his name was on a bit of paper in an office somewhere. But still,
someone had his album on while they were making a listen.
Who is it? Is it Eric
They're
Roberts?
like, he'd be quite a
Is
bad
that
Eric
Master?
Roberts, yeah. So that was
All right.
Genesis and the Daleks, and
Richie,
moving
that was
on.
wonderful.
Thank you very much.
I
I'm
loved
glad you
it.
enjoyed.
I liked it.
The real nerves, like recording it today and being like, and just having to, having to let go of the cringe. Just go for it, man. Just go for it.
See, look at
Fucking
the happiness it brought you.
The guy with the big giant shelf of Doctor Who DVDs. I just let go of the cringe.
Just think about if you just kept going through decades of that for every podcast episode, and we get to the 2000s, and you're like, big black boots, long brown hair.
Long blonde boots.
The raconteurs and the
Are
Daleks.
you gonna be my girl? Girl. Let's do episode 5, and then I've got a game.
Okay.
Okay.
So episode
I've got
5.
episode 5.
My favorite thing about episode 5 is the scene between Davros and the Doctor when they have their little conversation.
It's
And the
nice,
Doctor-
isn't it?
Oh,
It's
the
the back and forth, the little pill.
mm.
It's a real sort of. It's just the moment that kind of this is who Davros is, and there's absolutely no danger you get through to him.
Yeah, I think there's that moment of like being like, you know, Davros is bad and he's not, but there's that solidifies it, so you can't talk him round. He is a proper bad bastard, and it's like all he cares about is power. He can't be reasoned with. You're like, okay, I've got the measure of this little guy now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really liked when Doctor Who was like, "What if you were to do this?" And Davros was like, "Yeah, I would do that. That would be class, actually."
That would be class. It's my
That's
only,
gas.
It's my only note that's not like a piss take in some way, just germ speech. Like,
Yeah.
yes, man. I think just like big Clam and germ speech are
Yeah.
just the like, we're cooking. We're cooking.
Yeah.
Having those on the back of football jerseys.
Yeah.
Big Clam.
So
Bill speech.
when the Doctor is listing off, here's all the things that's happened with the Daleks
Yeah.
over the years, like every time they were defeated and how.
Hmm.
There's actually an extended version of that same scene,
Yeah.
just an extra line from Davros. Sometimes when they re-show it, they either put this in or take it out. But,
It
like-
made it through to the American episodes.
but I wrote it down.
Okay.
It's like, Doctor, I notice a sharp decline in the quality of the these anecdotes beginning in 2005 or so. It's like up until then, the Daleks were defeated through like ingenuity and like coming up with like some sort of like a plan and like or using their own powers against them, like in some sort of. But then it's like from that point on, the Daleks were defeated by a speech about the importance of male nurses. I mean, you know,
Change days.
obviously.
Change days.
Obviously, fine, but
I see.
I mean, I was out clapping with everybody, you know. I was out there with them all, but
at some point, the Daleks
Davros
start being
with one hand.
defeated by you saying that you are the Doctor.
had all that time to build up a rep, though. You know,
It says the Daleks were defeated by the power of love generated by the London 2012 Olympic opening ceremony. I've got to say, Doctor, like from 2005 onwards, it sounds like all of your adventures are shite. Shite for wet blankets.
I'll be sure to program that right out of them.
imagine like Tom Baker being like, and of course, at that point, I was dealing with the Master. I was like a sort of little Dobby kind of guy. I was in like a cage. I was like a little Dobby. I don't, you know.
It says here a woman is turned into a sort of blowjob slab.
Remember the Autons. Remember the Autons. Fucking wheelie bin. A wheelie bin.
Oh Christ!
I didn't realize Christmas was going to be so important in the future, but hey ho. It's like everything important that ever happens at Christmas now. Okay.
Did anyone else think that the torture machines that they used for Harry and Sarah Jane it looked like Weapon X's visor. Did anyone else notice that?
Mm.
I.e., cool as fuck.
Mhm.
I was, oh man, looks like Weapon X. Fucking.
He's trying to get the Transformers people to come back to the stream.
I know I'm trying my best. They'll be done by now. God knows they'll be all on their beds.
Gavin
Dreaming
Polite.
of the new Megatron.
Yeah. Oh, is he going to be a gun?
Gun or a tank? Which is better, Gavin, when Megatron turns into a gun or a tank?
Tank?
I suppose yeah, because like a tank is also a sort of a gun.
Yeah, a tank is a gun with more stuff with wheels.
Best of both worlds. Imagine you turn
It's
into a
like-
gun and you just lie on a
it's a-
table.
Imagine a
Like
gun
when
you
they
could
came
drive.
up with when they came up with the tank, they were like, "What about a car that was a gun?
Driving gun.
What if we could,
Have
what if
you
we
ever
could
wanted to
sit
drive
in
your
a
gun
gun and drive the gun around?"
I think I'm carrying this
And you
big
would
thing
just
around.
have to park
you know?
in front of whatever you want to shoot.
There was a guy driving down the road going like, "I wish I could shoot my car," and there was a guy walking down the road being like, "God, I wish I could drive my
I wish
gun."
I didn't
And they
have
crashed
to
into
get.
each other.
I wish I didn't have to get out of my car to shoot someone. Fiddling around in the glove box to find the gun.
I know, but
It should just be like the horn.
this is what a lot of the fans don't realise. They're way over the hill.
And Davros is
And-
there just thinking, and all I've come up with is a button that kills myself.
That's
He's
what
the
I ended
greatest
up
mind. He's the greatest
wrote
mind.
down. Basically, Davros being essentially waterboarded with his own life support system by your supposed hero, the Doctor. He's like
It is
pressing
very
like,
funny.
oh,
We'll come
But
up to
just
his
take
little
him off
moral
a bit.
dilemma in a minute, but he was absolutely fine with battering a boy in a wheelchair.
Yeah. Yeah.
have I the right? And then just
We got that. We got that bit. I just loved that silence.
Ribs.
elbow, knees.
That fucking long silence when Doctor Who's got his. Oh no, he just grabs his hand, doesn't it? He just grabs his one hand
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then just the
Release me.
that bit. I properly. I cackled when he said that for some reason. Like,
Release me.
release me, because it's the
I thought
only
like-
time he's actually. It's the first time he shows any kind of. Oh fuck!
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Well, that's-
Like, it's
yeah.
not-
When he grabs the hand, there's a moment where I thought, is Davros just going to be fucking mad strong? Like
Yeah.
he's going to be like, nice try, Doctor, but I'm actually really this one arm really
Release
strong
me.
because there's a bit of tension, and then he was just
Yeah.
like, release me.
But
Please.
also that he goes,
Please.
release me. Also, don't press that button that kills me. Just press all the other buttons. Don't
That's
press
my
the
life
kill me.
support system.
Do you remember what Davros's very first line was?
What?
Welcome.
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 I was gonna say
So
Chips for dinner.
More salt.
Massive.
Just one big chip.
yeah.
Clam and chips again tonight.
Clam and chip.
I also, if the Doctor had his time bracelet on and the clams got it when it was time to send back, think about the Time Lord standing around. He'll be back now in a minute. Here he comes. Fucking clams. No,
Good. What's that smell? What is that?
Is that a big
You smell
fucking
fish?
clam?
That smells like clam, but big.
Is there any chance any chance this is a regeneration? Check the books.
I love that when we go on with the clams, we keep talking about like them like biting and coming towards you like this. But it would just be it comes back in time and it's just far away, just doing that, and they're like, "Oh, we better not walk over to that." Good thing those can't move.
This is some kind of big clam.
There's another great bit in episode 5 where they go to some sort of space locker and he tries to get into it.
He just
Sort of
starts
space
slamming it.
device to open it, and then you open it and you can see it's just a normal lock
Yes.
and an old school.
And then just
locker.
pulling out the dirtiest looking guns you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah.
I think like the thing with that, like when they were like, right, we're going to fight these guys. We're going to take out. You know, they have that fight scene, which is the most like visceral part of the entire like story, where these folk are just thumping each other off walls, and like this is what the stuntmen were like. We're bored, man. We've not done anything this entire like. Let me batter myself off a wall. I've not had a concussion this week.
I love the guy that's got the club behind his back and he approaches the guard. And they
That
have
guy,
that little
by the way.
interaction, and he turns it. He's like, "Oh, don't worry, I'll go away." And then he turns around and walks away. And he just swings back at him.
I wrote it in my notes. The worst attempt at subterfuge I think I've ever seen. Where you walk right up to a guy with a gun, you've got a truncheon behind your back, and he's like, "Right, well, show us your papers." "Oh, I don't have them." "Right, we'll beat it then." "Okay." And then you walk away, and
No point. The guy was like, "What's that behind your back there?" Nothing.
Darn it. Just got my hand in my
Rare
back pocket.
pogs. I've got my favorite slammer whammer.
Again, we have a
You
bit
can't
more
see
a bit more bureaucracy. There's a line here that I've written down that I quite enjoyed. Is when Davros is doing his little speech about how weak everyone is. He's like, listens to every viewpoint and tries to satisfy them all. And he's just like, I'm just gonna kill everyone.
Starmer must resign.
Listen, he's a hard
killing
bastard,
everyone.
all right? He's a hard bastard.
In my notes, I've got Davros
Fucking
speaks
hard
of cowards.
bastard to like.
Davros speaks of cowards trying to appease everyone, and that's why they'll fail. It's true, but they should absolutely stamp on his hand and then cut his head with a knife.
Release me. Stop it.
The TARDIS wiki said for this episode, and I didn't notice this, and I went back, and it's true. Harry's neckerchief from the very beginning of the serial right to the end. Every time he's in a new scene, it gets 2% bigger, and at this point, it's only about 30% bigger. So you don't really notice it, but it is true. Like it does actually get bigger as you go.
They lost an extra week of shooting to just make sure they had that continued.
Yeah, they were like, maybe if we made it out of a sponge and then we just apply water every scene so it gets a little bigger.
Oh, fucking hell. So let's bring it to the end of episode 5 so Sean can play his game. But episode 5 ends that he's going to blow up the blobs, and he goes in and the blobs attack him. He comes out, he's got blobs stuck to his neck.
He's being
And
strangled
once
by
again,
Great.
Doctor Who
That's
might die.
Yeah. What I love about the way that's cut, though, it's him inside with the wires going, I'm going to get these blobs. And then it cuts back outside where they're waiting for him. We're like, oh, I hope he's doing all right in there. And then he opens the door with them all over me. Like, oh,
Yeah.
God, they're on me. It's great stuff.
Yeah, it's very
And
good.
as far as we know, that might be it.
That might be it.
Yeah. But
Who
this is
knows?
what I think about the
Yeah.
explosive energy of Tom Baker. Like when he burst out that door, when they set the rocket off in the earlier episodes, he bursts out with like there's a life to him that I think you would only ever see at like Last Orders.
Yeah.
You know, he'd burst up out his seat.
It's the flashing lights. So Richie, we didn't see episode 6. Does
This is
Tom
episode
Baker
You're wasting your time.
survive that attack from?
Well, we'll find out after Sean's.
We'll find out after
Game.
Sean's game. Yeah.
Okay,
this is
That's
after
what
Sean's
we'll
game.
find. All right. Look, we all know a lot about the Kaleds, right?
Mhm.
Now we do. And I know for a fact that all of you also know a lot about Kaled. DJ Khaled, that's right. DJ Khaled is in the house tonight. We are going to play Khaled or Khaled. I'm going to be reading out a series of quotes. I want you to tell me if that was a quote of a Khaled or a quote of Khaled. So
DJ
if it is Khaled, you'll be hearing this noise.
Correct.
If it is DJ Khaled, you'll be hearing this noise.
That's a really good jam, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
I like that.
And we've got a lot to get through. I've tried to be pretty laser focused that there's a surprising amount of crossover between what the Khaled people and DJ Khaled have said. So
Well, they
just
share
call
the
out your
same
name.
goals in many ways.
They do,
yeah. What they have said and done.
Just call out your name when you want to answer, and we'll tally the score at the end. All right. Question number 1. Well, quote number 1. And perhaps what is this?
Owen,
Yeah.
was that the Kaled?
As in, no, which one?
Now, when you say that, what do you mean? Do you mean
The Kaled people?
No, I will not accept that.
No, I'm afraid that was Khaled. So no points.
Tell me
for
about that
anybody
tune. It
there.
reminds that's like a good Bob Marley tune when you play.
Yeah,
that.
it's kind of like Bob Marley.
Yeah.
Anyway, you're going to get a negative point for that, Owen. So any
Oh,
points you
man.
got previously.
no.
No, fair enough.
So
Absolutely.
I'd have
fair
to
enough.
deduct a point from Owen's tally.
Yeah,
here.
well, I'll give you the tally, what you can take away.
Oh,
at the
okay.
end there.
Stay
All right.
focused.
Next one. This is the nature of my faith.
Oh.
Gavin?
Gavin?
Khaled?
And which one are you referring to there? That's Khaled, like Davros,
No, the other.
DJ Khaled.
DJ Khaled,
No, I will not accept that.
Fuck! Fuck!
That was a Khaled. That was DJ Khaled, or not DJ. Fuck, that was Davros. Davros said that. So you will be
Davros
losing.
himself?
Davros said that
of
you'll be
course,
losing a point.
of course.
Okay, next one. Now see that my orders are carried out.
Is
Richie?
that a Khaled people?
That's a Khaled. That's a Khaled. That's a Khaled.
Correct. Correct.
Correct. All right. Richie,
But
1
that
point
really
for
could have
Richie.
gone either way because that could be about lobster.
Yeah. I mean, fair's fair.
Okay. I'm not ashamed to say I fear something.
Oh. I'm gonna say oh.
I'm gonna say DJ Khaled.
Congratulations, man. That is one for DJ Khaled. You're correct. He's not
Come
afraid
on,
to
hear
say
that.
that he fears something. He's no fear. He's pretty open in that way. All right, here we go. If the next one is if the whole of the scientific core act against Davros, he can't succeed.
Me?
Gavin.
Richie?
Gavin? Is that the Khaled people?
Correct.
Right, one there for Richie. Fair play. That's a good one. All right. Next one. Another one.
Owen.
Owen.
That was Davros insisting that more Daleks be brought in to the.
No, I will not accept that.
That was DJ Khaled, I'm afraid. Next one. You will tell me. You will tell me.
Gavin.
Gavin.
I think it's Khaled.
Correct.
Yeah, it was Khaled.
This is honestly
when he
making
wants
me
to talk
love Davros so much, by the way.
Right. Next one. If we act soon, we can break his power.
Me? Is that the Khaled people?
Correct.
Well done, Richie. Excellent work. All right, nearly there. Only a few left. Meeting President Obama was amazing. Very inspiring.
Now that like post 2005 stuff, you know, you never know.
You can't tell with Davies, can you?
We're gonna look for an answer here. Anybody want to go for one there? Gavin?
That was DJ Khaled.
Let me just check.
Gavin, you've gone a little quiet. You're just a touch, but
Let me set my microphone.
So actually, I didn't write the answer to that one down, so I'm afraid.
Do you know what? You're right.
No.
If I was going to get a point, strip it from me.
Yeah, no. So I actually don't know who said that. So we'll just move on to the next one.
Can I just confirm, Richie? Is that okay?
You're
now?
better now.
yeah, you sound great. Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
All right, next one. I've been blessed to be somebody that's been climbing that success mountaintop for years of hard work, but now it's all connecting. And now the whole world is watching. You know what I'm saying? And it feels good because it's good energy. This is all positive vibes and good energy, and so it feels incredible.
Owen,
Owen?
that was the Kaled seconds before the rocket hit the dome.
Will not accept that.
I'm sorry. Actually, believe it or not, DJ Khaled said that. All right, our last one. Was this the Khaled or was this Khaled? I love Chris Brown.
Oh man.
Well, Bad Company. Who loves Bad Company more
than Davros?
Than Naylor. What was his name? the toady.
Naaman Nyman?
Nider.
Nider. That sounds like something Nider would say.
Lock that in.
Let's lock that in.
Let's lock that in.
Correct.
That is correct. Well done, everybody. So at the end of that game, Richie has gained 3 points. Owen has gained 2 but lost 3, and Gavin has gained 1 and lost 1. So you can
that even keel.
Thank you for listening to my game.
Sean, thank you for that excellent game.
Incredible.
I think taught us stuff as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Learned a whole lot.
You learn that you can find wisdom in the most unlikely places.
Anyway,
Richie,
so we did watch episode 5.
We can talk about episode 6.
Okay, good.
We did all what that was a rib.
That was a wee bit. That was a wee bit.
That was a wee bit. Episode 6. Incredible. I think you can all agree. Incredible episode.
Very good. So episode 6 has the famous bit.
The crux of all Doctor Who, in my opinion.
Oh, the Daleks.
Do I have the right? Yeah, that's the Daleks.
Have I the right?
Right at the end, we see our first glimpse of the Daleks.
I just wonder about whether if it was me or if it was someone else, maybe even a Scottish person, because Scottish people at their core are craven, which is why, of course, we begged to stay under the boot heel of the English government. But when he's like, have I the right? I'd be like, aye.
Yeah, absolutely.
I do love that Sarah Jane was there like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. This isn't even like baby Hitler. Yeah. This is like super space Hitler. You know?
And it's what really falls apart is Doctor Who makes the analogy of like, if someone pointed at a child and said that child's going to be evil, could you do it? Problem is, in this scenario, those children, they were literally just killing you.
I know. You literally just ripped them off your neck and slammed them on the floor.
So like, even in this scenario, it's like that child, these children they're already on a bad path.
Can we skip ahead because I want us to be done.
Can you imagine the speech was? Can you imagine the speech was? If a child took a swing at you, could you then batter that child?
What is the closing line of the episode again? Because
shit,
it's something like
it's the Dalek. No. It's when they're flying through space with the time ring.
It's like, but think of the good that came from all of that evil or something like that.
Yeah,
it's from that something. Yeah, he's basically
they're like all the races around the universe that band together that wouldn't have if not for the Daleks being bad bastards.
I mean, I think that like if I was to come to the defense of that scene in that moment, because it's funny, I was thinking about it coming up, and it's kind of handled. I think it is handled quite well because it's. I mean, I think it makes sense for him to have a little moment of hesitation, and then when he sees a way out of it, another way of solving the problem, he's like, great. But then he goes back and finishes the job anyway.
It happens twice, I think, in that episode in which the Doctor's like he's absolved of making that tough decision.
Yeah.
Because the first time the guy comes in and says, "Oh, they're all sorted, by the way," and he's like, "Oh, thank God." And then the next time when he goes back to do it, the Dalek runs over the wires, and he's like, "Well, it wasn't me."
Yeah. Oh yeah. Of course. Yeah.
Bow, bow. He's running
But then
out.
obviously we have the thing. We do have the thing about how they've been set back, and obviously the Time Lord's saying that at some point in future the Daleks are just everything, and that doesn't happen. So presumably, he does manage to fix something. But yeah, it's a very funny one, and it's funny that Next Gen ripped it off 20 years later
in an equally annoying way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where you're just shouting at the screen, just fucking
do
get
it,
rid
mate.
of that. Get rid
I
of
know.
that thing.
I can get rid
I
of it,
know.
man. I
But
don't
like,
like
It's
it.
very funny to be the person standing next to him going, "Of course, what are you talking about?" And not being like, "Here, let me do it."
I was thinking like
I'll
Sarah
do
Jane
it.
could just grab them and be like,
I
"Bah."
know. Here we
That's
go.
it, we're done.
Problem solved. Let's go.
It's an odd one because, like, in a fictional like setting, you get the message, like, right, yeah, you don't want to stoop, if you do bad, you're just as bad as the bad. You get it, but you also, if the problem is thinking about it in real world terms at all, immediately just makes you go, well, like, what are we saying here? That if you see, like, imagine, right? Imagine there was something really bad happening in the world right now. Imagine that for a moment.
Just imagine, yeah.
Yeah.
Are you
try.
supposed to feel better by thinking, well, in 1,000 years, maybe there's like a good thing, because like, maybe like people agreed we should like send cans of stuff, and that wouldn't have happened if it weren't for the bad thing. Like, as soon as you start thinking about it and all, you go, no. I think this well-meaning message might actually be awful, and like it's comfort for
Yeah, I
people
think
who
it's
don't want to do anything.
I think it's it's
which is what all great film and telly is about, isn't it?
So I can say what Great Britain is about.
It gives you just a good excuse to just have a nice night in, no matter what's happening.
It's
Let's
funny,
watch
like,
the proms.
Not worry
think
about
when
it
you
so
see
much.
a story like that when you're a kid, though, and you're like, oh, okay, there's a lot to think about there. But obviously, as an adult, you're like, fucking just stamp on his head.
Step in the goo.
Yeah,
Step on a little bit of
absolutely.
goo.
But it's
I
funny
think
because,
that-
I guess like all the people making the show at that point as well, there's a lot of people that are, old enough to remember, like, having experienced the World War and all that sort of stuff. So I don't know. It's funny to think, like, I wonder how people would have taken to something like that back then. But then also, it is all based on the Nazis, and if someone pointed out baby Hitler to you, you probably would just fucking throw it under a bus.
Like passing a rugby ball.
All this to say is that we went
Having to
into
stick
the
around to
episode.
say, you don't get that was baby Hitler.
Yeah.
And everyone's going, like, trust me, in 40
Trust me.
years, you're gonna be saying that guy was sound.
Well, you're gonna want
When
to
we're
keep
all
on.
driving around in flying
Going like,
cars.
I'm really glad there's no Holocaust happening right now. Imagine that.
Was
All
that
this
So
to
he,
say-
he throws the baby,
that guy killed
under
that
the bus.
baby.
Yeah, throws it
went
under the
into
bus,
this
and then he's like,
episode-
I don't have the time ring. Where's the time ring? It's like, oh, fuck.
Oh, he's stuck, guy.
Oh no!
you've
I left the
stuck me
time
here.
ring on the baby.
And everyone saw me killing a baby.
But all this is to say is we went into the episode thinking that the message would be,
You will be punished for this!
but the message ended up being,
You will be punished for insubordination! In the meantime,
in the meantime,
I mean, I guess, but you had like everyone trying to settle things peacefully ultimately failed as well. So I feel like there's a bit of that going. Like,
It's
what
because
is
they
the
do
message here? Everyone
bend over
that was sort
backwards.
of polite with Davros, like, well, let's hear everyone's arguments. Let's, dead,
Yeah.
Do
dead,
you not
dead.
remember how World War II ended? Everyone voted to get them out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
Everyone
fair
just
enough.
agreed. You know what? We need a common sense. We need a good middle ground, common sense party.
Yeah.
Who's
A
kind,
victory for common
compassionate,
sense.
and no more of these clowns. and there's bad on the other side.
Hey, just as bad. Just as bad. The when Doctor Who makes his big
Oh, Gab's away.
Oh, Gavin's frozen.
Oh, Gavin's time ring was activated, so he's
Time
out.
Lords have
Yeah.
got him.
So what is the plan, Richie, if Gavin's just gone?
I'll
Really
send
is
him a
gone.
text. Use
What's happening
carry on
here?
for a bit there, and I'll send him a message.
Oh.
So Richie, quick, just hit us with Genesis of the Daleks trivia.
I don't ask me for trivia. I don't have any.
Right,
I spent the whole afternoon trying to make sure the stream worked. And
Oh well, maybe you
lost
should
my
have
trivia
spent an
time.
extra hour on that.
Oh, what's happening?
No,
sorry, it's a terrible state of affairs for this one guy's internet is just
he's
acting
back.
the goat.
Who's back?
I apologize.
I'll just say before we wrap up on Genesis of the Daleks, unless anyone else has anything to say, my favorite bit is, I mean, obviously it's such a well-worn kind of trope of the being killed by your own creation. But when he gives the Dalek the order and it just sits silently.
Yeah.
That bit was great.
It's
then he
very
asks-
hard not to have a big fucking smile on your face.
I know.
Through
It's so
that,
great.
where you're just like, delicious.
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
Delicious irony.
And when he asks him for pity, he's like,
Have
pity.
Yeah, and just like with some older stuff, just embracing the like we're not being subtle about anything.
Yeah.
Like forget subtlety is a waste of time. Just go full on, like you say, please have pity. Pity? the idea of writing that into anything now is unthinkable. You would not have any character just announce pity. I've checked all the words I know, and I didn't find that word anywhere, so I'm not going to give you any.
I also is that how programming works? Are you like, I'm going to give them all the words so they can communicate and they can chat, but I don't want them to have pity, so I'm not even going to tell them about it.
I should have told them about pity.
Oh, I should have just told them, because I could have just said, "Oh, turn on the pity thing."
Yeah, turn on your pity
Just
switch.
turn it off.
My favorite
real
thing
pity.
about the episode by far is when the Doctor's like, right, get into Davros's safe, and he's like, oh, Davros opens that himself, and the Doctor's like, no, he doesn't, because it's dead high up, and you're like, fair play though, why doesn't Davros have an accessible safe? And why? And I know obviously with his buttons, accessibility is not a big thing for him, but it's like the Daleks don't go upstairs either. It's like they really have no thoughts towards accessibility at all.
Yeah, like to the extent that the only button they give him on his chair is a kill yourself button.
Listen, we'll put that in first.
The most
We'll be able
anti-accessible
to,
chair of all time.
Go like, what's
It's
that
right
for?
It's right next to the get me a cup of tea button.
The guy building it, putting it in, and Davros is like, "What's that for?" Like, that's the kill you button. If you ever want to just fucking end it, because you are no offense, mate.
These two buttons here, that's kill yourself, and that's the Clam enlarger.
Keep hitting that Clam button.
I've got 2 notes
Mhm.
on
For the final episode.
Bring back great big face zooms.
Mm.
You know, like when it all kicks
Yeah.
off, and you got that zoom into the toady. It's just
Mm.
that's another thing you don't get anymore. Just it's happening
Yeah.
now.
There's lots
and
of really
the-
good Dalek deaths that
Mm.
floundering about with
The
the
end when
negative
there's-
picture effect.
When they're
They do that with
saying
their hands a lot. Oh no, I'm being killed.
when they're saying goodbye to the Thals, and
Uh-huh.
it's just a proper right.
I've
Right,
got that
see
written
ya.
down as well.
Yeah.
Everyone's just like,
Yeah.
right, oh, well, it's good to meet you. Thanks
You'll be
very
off
much.
then.
It's like we've finished filming the last shot, and everyone's just having a. It's lovely to work with. It's great to meet you. My kid watches it.
He thinks you're brilliant.
He says you're going to do a good job.
I adored the fact that, like, because the time ring is quite ambiguous. It's like, don't lose this time ring. There's no like, here's how you use it or how you come back, and they all just touch it and then spin around.
Oh yeah. Do
I
a ring
love
around
that.
Rosie.
Yeah, they're just like, why is that happening? And then they're in space, like, whoa! It's like, what a way to end the episode. I loved it. That's my favorite.
So I forgot to mention in the last episode early on when they just do a very good. They've clearly been told to write in like, make sure he loses it at some point, by the way, because he can't lose it. And just like time use the time ring. Oh no. I must have dropped the time ring.
I know there's a bit in the last episode as well where he's like, right, time to go. Oh, I don't have it. And at the point that he's decided to go, nothing's been sorted. He's like, that's probably fine. We should just get off.
Yeah. But when he notices he doesn't have it, he's like, they're like, oh fuck, right, we better sort this out. And it just cuts to the scene of them walking down the corridor, and he's like,
There it is.
Yeah. There's no tension at all.
There it is.
Richie, if in the next 10 years of I Hate Doctor Who, if it becomes a show, like a filmed show, can we end each episode doing the time ring, ring Rosie, and then cutting to the 4 of us in space,
floundering about
floating,
space, yeah.
like saying one final line as well as like, well, at least maybe some good can now come out of Doctor Who because we've done this podcast. You know, all the evil that Doctor Who has inflicted on the world over all these decades. At least now, perhaps, thanks to this podcast, some good. If that's everything, I'd
Goodbye.
So it's time for polite handshakes and off we go.
No,
I wouldn't mind throwing
time for the big
throw a game at you. If that's,
I'm fine with ending it now. We can just end it now.
Let's end it now.
I wouldn't
All the people
mind that
here for
much.
All the people that have been here for the whole thing. I keep looking at the screen as if they're there, but the camera's here. All the people that have been doing the whole thing, thank you very much for hanging about. It's been very nice.
Thank you very much. I hope you've enjoyed the show so far. After this point, don't worry too much about it.
Don't worry, another
Richie,
3 hours to go.
Richie, have you not finished that Bowser?
No, not yet.
Fucking hell.
No.
Richie, have you got the Hudsucker proxy on Blu-ray?
I don't. I've got it on Laserdisc though.
I can't have it into that because I don't.
You can. I think you can. I don't know if you can get it on Blu-ray. I think you need to get it as part of a box set or something.
You can get it as a German Blu-ray, but it's one of those ones that just doesn't pop up on Blu-ray, which is
I've not seen it.
That's a shame, man. So you got a game?
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just going to quickly throw in a very cool dog said the 3 active Dalek props used were the originals from the 1960s and their wear was covered by new paint. There's some fascinating trivia for you.
No, that doesn't sound right.
I really like it. Sounds like a nice throwback thing. Like they used the original 1960s. Oh, but they slapped like new paint on it, and you realize this wasn't a thing done out of nice, nostalgia thing. It's like, oh, we could use them again.
Yeah.
Just slap some house paint on that.
We've got a couple of Daleks in the cupboard, actually.
Very cool dog. Thank you for your trivia. However,
No, I will not accept that.
Were there,
Owen,
just before we get into the really fun game, if that's okay, Owen,
mm-hmm.
Were there guys or girls, hey, inside the Daleks when they were farting around? Were they operated by a remote control, or were they operated by someone
they're
inside
just
them?
Fellas, they're just fellas wheeling themselves about. In some episodes, you can see that it is a guy, as if it's someone on a desk chair. Like,
Right.
it's quite well done, but it's just a fella, and
I
the
did notice
rings
there is a
will
shot
have a
of
mesh that
Davros.
they can see.
There's like a wide shot of Davros moving, and you can see him moving just slightly in that he's Flintstoning his way across the
Lad
room.
Howard. Right, Owen.
Hello, and welcome to my game.
Hello.
My game is called Do You Have the Right? Please allow me to explain how my game works. I'm going to give each of you a scenario, and all you have to do is tell me, do you have the right? Richie.
Yeah.
You have an opportunity to save hundreds upon millions of innocent lives by killing a few sentient snotballs in jars who know nothing but hate and destruction. But do you have the right?
Yeah, I think I do. Yeah.
Yes, you do. Gavin.
Hi.
You have been sent to Los Angeles as a representative of the National Gallery in London to attend an unveiling ceremony of James Abbott McNeill Whistler's 1871 painting, Whistler's Mother. Through a series of mishaps, you destroy the painting, but hatch a plan that will allow you to replace it with a forgery and return home to London with the original. But do you have the right?
I don't have the right, but I would do it.
Correct. Sean,
Yeah.
you have been making a podcast for almost 10 years. As you approach the 20th episode milestone, you reflect on the journey so far. 3 of those episodes were made by others. 8 of them featured the same guests, betraying the show's own premise. You wanted to celebrate making it to 20 episodes with a live stream recording, but frankly, do you have the right?
No.
Correct. Richie.
Yes.
You pick up a box of French fancies in Tesco, thinking they were £2. But, tragically, that turns out to be the club card price. The actual price is £3.45, which
It's
begs
actually
the
£4.
question. £4.
Mm-hmm.
Which begs the question. Do they have the right?
Absolutely not.
Correct. Gavin.
Hello.
While attending the Pacific Park amusement park on the Santa Monica Pier, you spot a ride called the Ride of Doom, which is advertised with the quote, "It's frightening," attributed to no one. Enticed by the promise of a thrill ride, you and your friend David Langley get tickets. He enjoys it, but it puts you to sleep. On your way out, you spot an unmonitored control room. With some tinkering, you could make the ride as scary as you were hoping for. But do you have the right?
Yes.
No.
No?
I'm afraid not. No. The police will get involved.
Oh.
Sean.
Yeah.
A driver wishes to perform a turnabout, aka a 3-point turn.
Mm-hmm.
They check ahead and behind for oncoming traffic and turn briskly while still keeping a lookout. But do they have the right?
No.
I'm afraid they do.
They haven't indicated.
Strip him of his license now.
Richie.
Yes.
Brazzers is now free. But, and this is crucial,
Uh-huh.
do you have the right?
What's Brazzers?
Yeah.
Yes,
Why?
it's wrong, but it is your right.
It's within my rights.
Gavin,
Hello.
in a situation not unlike the one depicted in the 1997 film Bean, Mr. Grierson and his wife have shown up unexpectedly for dinner at your friend David Langley's house. With David's wife, Alison, away at her mother's, it falls to you and David to cook the dinner. Unfortunately, the only thing in the fridge is a giant turkey, but that's for Thanksgiving. And it would take 5 hours to cook, or 20 minutes in the microwave. But you fall to your knees and ask of Christ, do you have the right?
No.
The fucking moment
No.
that I realized that all of your questions have been about beef.
Sean,
Yeah.
the final one. We know the Scotch love nothing more than to
Thank
be
you.
bold, brave, give it Yaldi, and to
Yeah.
have give it Yaldi, and to have some laugh. But after voting for no, begging to remain under the boot of Westminster in 2014, rejecting their own independence and proving themselves little fucking worms. Do they still have the right?
Yes.
No, I'm afraid they don't.
No.
Thank you very much for playing Do You Have the Right?
Very good. Very good.
I enjoyed it. I don't care what anyone else says.
I only didn't say no because I didn't have a no button. I would have said no.
You would have been well within your rights to say that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, that seems like a good place to bring this to a close on this, the landmark 20th episode of I Hate Doctor Who. I have to say, through all this time, I don't think I would have made it to 20 without you boys.
you wouldn't have made it before? You kidding on?
Made it before.
Made it to 20, you cheeky bastard.
That's a fair point. Well, that's yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to trample over your nice
No,
sentiment
it's
there.
okay. That's okay. Everyone that's hung. Sorry, I've just looked at the stream and it's just caught up to you having given me shit there. Yeah, thanks everyone that's hung around for the evening. I've just got one last thing I want to show to the stream. Actually, I need to show you the Christmas present that Danny gave me, or my birthday present.
Oh.
Sorry.
I thought he was going to show a bit of that couch.
Do we have to stay for this?
I've been wondering what that was. I was going to ask you what that was.
Oh.
Oh, man.
Richie, we can see your tabs.
Well, Brazzers is now free.
True.
And I do have the right, as we've established.
The right.
Horny
And do you know what?
redhead
You know what Richie typed
Braz
into the
human
Brazzers?
mop?
Do you know what browser he types into the browser search bar? Everybody.
Dominate. Release me.
Yeah, thanks everyone for joining us. It's been a lot of fun. It went a lot better than I thought it would. So, but I'll be back again with another episode with another guest.
With a
Hopefully,
big special guest.
a new special guest.
I can't wait.
Yeah, and I'll see you all soon. But thanks everyone for coming along. I keep looking at that screen. That's so stupid. Thanks everyone for coming along, and thank you guys for joining me. It's been a lot of fun.
Richie,
Thank you for
Send my
You-
thanks
you-
to the cool doctor as well.
Please, you have to use the sign off. If you don't, this stream is for nothing.
What's the sign off again?
I'll put it in the private chat. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. I
And
forgot.
thank you, everybody, for tuning in for the final time that we'll all be on this stream.
Oh,
This won't happen again.
okay, I'll do the sign off and then I'll hit end stream.
Yeah.
But the TARDIS team will be back at some point. And it'll be as special as always. But thank you so much, everyone. Bye, everybody. I'll see who hater.
This meeting is ended.